Alright, it's time to remove that starting soon text, because we're not starting soon. We're starting, like, now. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Randomassacre. Alright, looks like it's time to get started, so I think we'll keep this on schedule and get going right about now. In 3, 2, 1, and start. Alright, hey, welcome to Randomassacre. This is Pokemon Red Randomizer. If you are not familiar with what randomizers are, they are programs that take a game and rearrange all the components of the game so it's different every time you play. In this case, it's going to randomize the location of every Pokemon in the game and give them all new moves to work with, so we have no idea what we're going to see in this game. It's going to be great. So, I don't have a lot of time to talk about this, but we gotta talk about starter Pokemon, because it is the most important thing in this game, it's the most exciting thing that happens in this game, and we will see it about 1 minute into the run, after we withdraw this potion for safety. You're gonna see me picking up a lot of healing items in this game, because I don't know what I'm gonna see, and I'm gonna need to heal a lot. It's not gonna be your standard Pokemon Red or Blue run, because it is not going to follow an exact path. It's going to be pretty similar, but all the fights are going to be different, and they're going to be wacky. So, starter Pokemon. We are looking for something with pretty good stats that's not slow. We need something that's fast, and we need something that doesn't have too many glaring weaknesses, and we're also going to want to check in on what moves we've got. So we're going to save, and we're going to check out our Pokemon here. We've got Ghastly. That's a pretty good Pokemon, especially once he evolves into Gengar. More on that in a second. We've got Raichu, which is pretty good as well. He's fast and has decent stats. And we have Zubat, who we're going to ignore. I think I'm going to check this Ghastly first. So the nice thing about this game is that we have set up an option here where we can get trade evolutions by level up, even if they would normally be unobtainable. So Ghastly can still evolve into Gengar in this version. So we're going to check his moves. And his moves are not great, so we're going to reset. We're going to reset and check out Raichu. So Pokemon types and stats are going to be unchanged in this run. If I were to change them, it would make it a little bit hard to figure out what we're doing. There'd be a lot of intel gathering, and we don't have time for that. This is a speed run. You know, forget it. It just makes things, really difficult when we don't know what we're looking at whenever we see a Pokemon. Oh, it's Ghastly, but it could be a fire type with, no speed. So it's whatever. So we're gonna check out this Raichu. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit better than the Ghastly. Well, it's got Teleport. That's not great. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, we're gonna reset and take the Ghastly, because the Ghastly was honestly better. Not as much saves, or a little bit more save scumming than I was hoping to do at the beginning of this run, but sometimes it's just how it goes. It's really important that we pick our starter Pokemon correctly here. And I think that Ghastly is going to be a little bit better off just because he's got better moves. He will have lower stats at first, but once he evolves, I think we'll be set. It's a little bit of a risk taking this Ghastly, but I just prefer his moves.
Not even going to give the Zubat a chance?
No, we are not going to give the Zubat a chance. Golbat is terrible, and I hate him. Hey, I've got the Green Leaf Effect in here with me. How's it going?
It's going well. What's happening, everybody?
So we're going to fight this Raichu now. I'm going to high jump kick this Raichu with a ghost that has no legs. I think that is the appropriate strategy to follow here.
Welcome to Randomizer, everybody, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
That is exactly what's going on here. So we've got high jump kick, which is a pretty good fighting physical move. We don't have a lot of attack to use it with, but it'll do for now. We also got Seismic Toss, which do damage equal to our level, so that's a nice, solid, reliable move, but it won't, one-hit kill most things, which is kind of unfortunate. If we find some better Pokemon along the way, we may end up using one. I don't know if this Ghastly is going to pan out. I don't know exactly when it evolves into Haunter and Gengar, but it's not going to be for a little bit. So it's kind of a long-term play.
Yeah, I know it's 25 for Haunter, but let me go ahead and I'll look that up for you. I want to say it's like 33 or something like that for Gengar, but I'll look that up and get back
Yeah,
to
well, Gengar is interesting because it's normally a trade evolution, but the randomizer has an option to turn those off and just make it by level instead. Which is what we would run into if we keep using this Ghastly. We do also have the option of buying Pokeballs and going out in the wild and catching things. And of course, any Pokemon could appear in the wild. So we could find some really interesting options out there. It's a little bit it's a bit of a time cost to go catching things, though.
It would be level 37 that Haunter evolves into Gengar. All 4 of the trait evolutions are level 37 plus for their final form.
Okay, that's not great, but it's maybe doable. So Horsey, actually Siege's an okay Pokemon, but I'm not really that interested in catching one. Arbok's an okay Pokemon, but I'm not interested in catching one of those either. We're gonna do a little bit of fighting in Route 1 here, just to get our Ghastly up to like a respectable level.
Yeah, and the big thing to remember for those of you who are watching this is the original Gen 1. So the Pokemon types that we're going to want to see are Psychic and Ghost. And I won't say Dragon type just because of the resistances, but there's no actual damaging Dragon moves. So basically Psychic and Ghost are the 2 we want. So if we come across something like an Abra or a Drowsy, it's definitely something to look into because in Gen 1, Psychic is the most broken type in the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, Psychics and Ghosts are definitely what we want to see. So Gengar and Alakazam are probably the 2 best starters in this game, as well as Mewtwo, just because those are really good types to have in Gen 1. Having a Ghastly does mean that we'll be immune to normal and fighting attacks, and there's a lot of those, so that's really helpful. It's good to be immune to types that are very common in this game, and Normal's the most common. So we've got our Pokedex, and we're going to head off towards Viridian Forest now, where we'll encounter our first trainer, who normally has a level 9 Weedle in the game, which is not terribly dangerous. But in this game, he could have anything. It could be a level 9 absolutely anything. It could be a level 9 Mewtwo, it could be a level 9 Magikarp, we don't know. So we're going to want to pick up a couple potions on our way there to make ourselves a little bit safer, just in case this goes awry. There will be a lot of safety saving in this run because, again, I don't know if I'm gonna I could lose any fight in this game potentially. There's just no way to know.
Oh yeah, and this trainer here is affectionately known as the Gatekeeper because usually it takes sometimes between 15-20 minutes before you can get out of Viridian Forest from fighting him. Yeah,
it depends. I haven't had that kind of luck in any of my practice runs yet, but today could be the day. We'll see. Sometimes I fight these trainers along Viridian Forest if I really feel the need to get some more experience, but I'm going to ignore them for now and hope it pans out later. I'm also going to skip that antidote that's lying in the way. We have a poison type, so we don't care about that.
Oh, so we didn't randomize the item drops then?
No, I thought about it, but the reason I don't is because in Generation 1, you could find fresh water on the ground, and if you do, you can skip Rock Tunnel by going straight to Saffron City. I decided that that would be not, like, ideal if that happens. It has happened to me in a couple practices, so...
yeah, I've done it too. I hear you.
Yeah, I think it's better to leave those off. Also, for marathon safety, it's better if I know where the rare candies are, so I figured it would be better if I just turned them off. So we've got a Fearow, and it knows Lovely Kiss, so we're going to reset. This level 9 Fearow is faster than us, and it puts us to sleep right away with a nice little smooch on the beak. That is a real problem. Lovely Kiss is a very accurate sleep move, and it's going to spam the heck out of that, so we need to be faster than it. And that means we're going to need to do a little grinding. There's just no way around it. That is not ideal luck, but these things happen.
It's better than a Mewtwo or a Legendary Bird, at least.
Yeah, Fearow's, I mean, it's killable. There's that. So we're gonna do another safety save here. Fight this dude here. We just really need our Ghastly to be faster than the Fearow. I think if we've got that, then we're okay. But being slower than it means we can just get sleep locked until the end of time. So we've got a level 7 Dugtrio here. He's got pretty weak defense, and he's only using Mega Drain on us, so that's not really too much of a threat. We should be able to take it out in about 3 or 4 hits. That'll bring us up to level 8. Pikachu, very weak defense. Its Ice Punch is not going to cut through our specials, so we're going to be okay here. I don't remember exactly how much power High Jump Kick has in Gen 1. Oh, that's bad. We're going to die. That's Dig. Yeah, that's going to knock us out, unfortunately. I'm not going to reset. I'm going to keep that because we got a level up. Except I forgot to use the Poké Center in Viridian City. So we're back in Route 1. That's fine, though. We can still do a little fighting here. As well as scout out some random encounters.
High Jump Kick's base attack power is 85 in Gen 1.
Okay, that's about the same as Body Slam, I think. Or pretty close. So we've got a couple of somewhat redundant moves to use here. I haven't seen anything in Route 1 yet, wild Pokemon-wise, that really excites me too much. See a wild Machop, I'm not going to bother with that. Machamp's not great. Tauros is really interesting. This is worth scouting out a little bit. Tauros is a very strong Pokemon. I don't know why I just used High Jump Kick. That was really dumb. It's dead. Never mind! But yeah, Tauros is a strong Pokemon. Maybe go back for that. Maybe. Don't have a lot of money as it is right now.
Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind here that's going to make this, at least the beginning part of this run, more difficult than it should be, is that Ghastly in Gen 1 learns 2 level up moves. They don't start learning to level the mid-20s, so yeah, we've got level like 28 and 33, something like that. So yeah, not going to get any new moves on Ghastly for a while. I'm
going to go back and look at that Tauros. This is going to take a little bit of time, but I'm not feeling great about this Ghastly's prospects now that you started talking about it like that. Obviously, we do want to look at all the TMs in this game and try to find good TMs. Every Pokemon will have a flat 50-50 chance to learn any given TM, and all of the TM moves are randomized, so they could be anything, so we want to check all of our TMs. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit more save scumming here. Yeah, so all Pokemon in this game, because we have this set, are going to start with 4 moves. So that's going to help Ghastly out, obviously, because it starts with 4 moves now. So every Pokemon we encounter will know 4 moves. For better or worse, usually this is worse because they could carry things that hurt us badly, and we don't want to see that.
As we've seen with the Digging Pikachu.
Yeah, it happened to carry Dig, and that was the problem. So this Tauros has, like, really kind of garbage moves. It's got Flamethrower, which is interesting. It's got Fury Attack, which is not great. I'm considering the swap here. Let's go ahead and capture this guy since we've got him here anyway. I do have the, random encounters are... sorry, catch rate is buffed a little bit for wild Pokemon, just to make it a little bit easier to catch them. It's not super high, but it will make it a little bit easier for certain things. And unfortunately, our Tauros is already dead, but we're just going to go to the Poké Center and heal up here. I'm considering switching to this Tauros. It's level 3, so it's going to take a little bit to grind. It does have Flamethrower, which is nice.
Just to give you the heads up, Tauros doesn't learn any extra moves until level 21.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is kind of a tough decision here. Ghastly may pan out, but it's gonna be tough going for a while. Tauros is a little bit more ready to go right away. Fury Attack is such a slow move, which is annoying, and it's really unreliable.
True, but it is going to get Stab at least.
Yes, it does get Stab off of Tauros's normal type, which is good. And also, Tauros's special isn't really as bad as you would think, so Flamethrower will do a lot of damage. Fire moves aren't great in Pokemon Gen 1 Randomizer, just because there's a lot of water types around. But it's still strong enough to rely on for the most part. I really don't know. I'm like really 50-50 about this Tauros Ghastly thing. I was really hoping I wouldn't come into such a difficult quandary this early in the run, but here we are. I'm kind of committing to this Tauros a little bit. I'm just feeling a little bit better about it. It's got fewer weaknesses than this Ghastly does. This Ghastly is just gonna fold in the face of ground moves. And Tauros has slightly better type coverage right now, which is nice, because this Flamethrower, it'll help for some things. So we're gonna do a little bit of grinding here. This is why the estimate is 3 hours. Generally, a really good run will take about 2 minutes and 2 hours. 2 minutes, gosh, I wish. 2 hours and 20 minutes. An average run will take about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and a bad run will take 3 hours. Hopefully, this will not be in the 3-hour category, but it could be. There's always that possibility. This is Randomizer, we don't know.
This is a marathon, so always assume the worst for everything.
I absolutely will always assume the worst.
I've done enough commentary for randomizers, non-randomizers, marathons, and all that. Just assume that if anything bad is going to happen, it's going to happen when you're live in front of however many people are watching you, not during your practice runs where it should happen.
Oh, no, of course not. My last practice run yesterday was like a 2-hour, 23-minute run in which I had an Electabuzz that had Razor Leaf and Crabhammer and just walked over everything. This is not going to be that kind of run. This early game
you could eventually find an Electabuzz. Who knows?
I mean, with Razor Leaf and Crabhammer, that would be great. I would definitely use that. But this early game is going to be a bit slow going, because I'm going to get this Tauros up to respectability, and I think I'm going to run with it. It's just what we're going to do here. Make another safety
to run
save.
with it until he buys the Magikarp over by Mount Moon. It turns out to be a Moltres.
Yeah, I mean, that has happened before. That's not completely impossible.
Although, to be completely fair, Moltres does have a 4 times weakness to Rock, so it's probably not the best call. But
I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't actually use Moltres. We're gonna switch our moves around here a little bit. There we go. Yeah, Moltres is. You really don't want 4 times weaks on your Pokemon in this. Oh god. So this Executor used self-destruct on me, but I burned it, so it didn't actually do that much damage, and I'm pretty much fine. Geodude is a problem. We don't have a good move against Geodude. It's resistant to both our normal and our fire attacks. And I'm also burned, which is great news.
And for those who don't know what the burn status does, it's going to cut the physical attack of the Pokemon in half. So all of the physical moves are going to deal half damage. And physical moves in this gen, it's not based on whether it is or isn't, it's just based on the type. So in this generation, normal, fighting, rock, ground, things like that, they're all going to be physical moves, whereas things like grass, fire, water, electric, those are all going to be your special moves. Now, if you know Pokemon pretty well, the easiest way to think about it is for Gen 1, if in any point in the game, if it has an evolution, it's a special. So fire, water, electric, grass, ice, psychic, dark eventually when it shows up. Those are all special moves plus dragon. Everything else, bug, poison, dark, ghost, ground, rock, those are all physical moves. Easiest way to figure it out, just think of your evolutions.
Yep, that's a pretty good explanation, and that covered commentary while I had to run back to the Poké Center to heal this burn. I did not follow Blaine's advice and carry burn heal because this is the first time I've been burned in like 6 or 7 runs. So yeah, that doesn't really happen very often. I'm not going to carry many status heals in this run just because they don't come up very often, and usually they just end up being stupid inventory clutter. Which means, of course, that I will get statused very often and have to run back to Poké Centers. As is the way of things. It's a little bit embarrassing, but there's really not a whole lot I can do about it. I just don't have that many resources or options in the early game. So the early game of this randomizer can either be... I mean, sometimes I'll be way past Brock by now, and sometimes I'll just be kind of toiling in the early game, grinding, fighting trainers that I don't need to just to get experience. It's really just a mess, but there's really nothing I can do about it. that is how Randomizer goes. You don't know what you're going to find. You don't know what you're going to have to deal with in any given game. I'm gonna finish off this Doug Trio with Ember just for swag, I guess. So PP is really important in Randomizer, because again, you don't know how prolonged your fights are gonna be, and you don't want to go heal too much if you can avoid it. So having high PP matters, and conserving it, being aware of how much you've got, it's important. We're not really gonna have a lot of PP issues right now, though. Okay, so this Tauros is now up to level 10. I think that's going to be faster than Firo, that level 9 Firo. Just eyeballing it. Tauros is actually quite fast. He's very well known, like in Generation 1, like competitive play, Tauros is very good. Because he's got like a base 110 speed, so he's actually like faster than most things. So he's faster than Firo by now, I think. So we can probably go fight that Firo. Well, now he's level 11, so he's definitely going to be faster. This should be plenty easy now.
So, sorry I'm a little late.
No problem. We've got now Amazing Ampharos in here with me.
Scheduling snafu. Looks like you guys are, still pretty early in the game, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, 21 minutes isn't really that early, but as it happens, circumstances have made it the early game, because I cannot get out of Vermilion Forest until I get this Tauros up to about level 11.
Hey, Tauros is a good starter.
Yeah, well, I had to catch one, is the problem. Wasn't a starter. I started with a Ghastly, but it just doesn't have good enough moves. Okay, so this Firo is screeching at us and attacking us with Psybeams. That's what birds normally do, as far as I'm aware. It did not use Lovely Kiss, however, which is what I was worried about, because that can lock us down for a bit. So that made that fight a little bit easier than I was expecting it to be.
Well, we can say that bird screeching does make an absolute heck of a lot of sense, so...
Yeah, that one actually does. I can buy that one. I don't know about the Mind Powers thing, though. So we're going to heal Imputer City now. Usually we're going to hit the Poké Center every time we get to a new place, just so we don't end up going a town back if we lose, like I did previously. Bit of a snafu on my part. We are going to do some shopping in Pewter City, but I'm going to beat Brock first, hopefully. So we've got a level 11 Tauros. This is usually enough to take on Brock right away. I don't need to fight his junior trainer right now, I don't think. Sometimes we do that for a little bit of extra experience, but I'm just going to make a safety save and fight Brock right away. He's got a level 12 and a level 14 Pokemon. Normally they're Geodude and Onix, but again, now it could be anything. So
I'm pulling for Golem and Rhydon.
Yeah, that would be... Oh god, another Firo. Alright. Yeah, this fight is a common roadblock in the game just because it's the early game, so you really don't have many resources or options at this point. So you can just kind of get stuck on this for a little while until you can eventually grind your way past it. And if I keep missing Fury Attack, this is going to get really bad really quick. Fury Attack has really low accuracy. And so this could just happen. I really don't like low accuracy moves, but sometimes you just have to rely on them. I could have used Flamethrower instead, possibly. Alright.
So, fun Generation 1 mechanic we saw there. Multi-hit moves that crit with every hit, but then you got 2 hits.
Yeah, so check it out. This is a level 14 Alakazam that knows Flamethrower. I hate everything.
Rip.
But we do have a Ghastly, and it's level 8, so we might be able to do something with that. This Alakazam is going to decide to thrash our Ghastly, which is really not a good idea. So an interesting fact here is that Brock has infinite full heals. He's the only gym leader like this in the game. So if you use a status effect on this Pokemon, he will immediately full heal that off. And that includes, like, if you happen to get a lucky paralysis, like I did on that Body Slam. That will waste one of his turns, though, so I got a little bit of luck there. Alakazam just decided to thrash my Ghost, which did nothing, and then I Body Slammed it and paralyzed it, which made it waste a lot of time. So that fight actually went pretty well. The rare 2 Pokemon strat in Randomizer does not happen very often, but here you go. So that was interesting. This is what this is just normal Randomizer stuff. What can I say?
So let's see the string shot, TM.
Stun Spore, close enough.
Yeah, Stun Spore is not great. I'm not even going to bother with that, honestly.
I've gotten Splash from that before, too. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Usually this TM is just good for selling. Because I am going to go to this Pokemart now and sell this TM. And we're going to buy 7 escape ropes. That is a very specific number. That is exactly the number that we are going to need in this game. I can't actually buy 7 escape ropes, so I'm going to buy 5 escape ropes. How about we buy 5 escape ropes instead? We'll buy the other 2 later. There are 7 places in this game that we can use the escape rope to save some time. There's also one place, Silphco, where I might use one just to go back and heal. If we do that, then we'll just not use one later, somewhere else. We don't necessarily have access to dig, so we do need to buy these escape ropes. It's a little bit of a difference from a normal Pokemon Red run. So now we've got a long string of trainers here, 4 before we get to the next Poké Center. These guys are a little bit lower level, but they can be a problem sometimes. We may need to go back and heal once in the middle of it. Unfortunately, yeah, we're fighting a Haunter here, which has immunity to our Fury attack, and has pretty high special, so it's going to take a lot of hits to take out. Gives us a nice chunk of experience, though.
And of course, the most important trainer on Route 3 is coming up next. We're going to have Shorts Kid.
Oh yeah. I'm wearing shorts right now because they are comfy and easy to wear. That's important when you're doing a marathon run, especially one that could take 3 hours, as this one very well might.
Actually, one thing I suppose we should point out now is that there are certain moves in Gen 1 that are bugged and do things not the way you're supposed to.
Oh boy.
Focus Energy is one of those. In theory, when you use Focus Energy, it is supposed to increase your critical hit rate. In Gen 1, however, it does the exact opposite. It decreases your critical hit rate.
I believe it decreases it to just like 0. I think you just can't land critical hits after you use Focus Energy. It's a really good move.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually incredible, because if you play in Stadium where they fixed the bug, it's like the best move ever. But in actual Gen 1, it's the worst move ever.
Yeah, that pretty much describes it. So we're seeing this Blastoise also use Focus Energy, which is great because it's a waste of time and it does nothing. And allows me to slowly whittle it down. Because we're seeing this whole problem with Flamethrower where there's a lot of water types and they are just going to stonewall Flamethrower, so I just have to use Fury Attack. And hope for the best. Hope that it doesn't miss and then does several hits. I really don't like these multi-hit attacks in speedruns because they just take a long time to work. But it's the best we got, so we've got to make do.
I do notice you're running into a lot of fully evolved Pokemon, so it is helping you along the experience curve.
Yeah, that's an interesting sort of, like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. We considered using similar strength Pokemon, which means that it would replace Pokemon with Pokemon that have similar stats, which means that these would all be like Weedles and Caterpies right now. I decided to turn that off because I like a little bit of early game variety, just because I think it's a little more interesting, I guess. But the other side of this also is that I get more experience for fighting things, which I kind of like. It just gets me up to a nice level a little bit earlier. This Tauros is almost dead. We have one more trainer to fight on this route. I don't know if I should go back and heal or not. I think I'm not going to. I'm just going to use the potion. We have to double back here anyway to get this girl to be out of the way. We fight her instead of the guy below, because the guy below has 4 Pokemon, and we want to fight as few Pokemon as possible. So we fight this girl, and then we go back and reset her position and walk right by her. I'm just going to use the potion right here to heal Tauros up a little because he's hurting, and hope that I can get through this fight and get to the Poké Center. Instead of doubling all the way back to the Poké Center in Pure City, we've already wasted enough time as it is.
Yeah, and there's just one more required fight on Route 3 before we get to the Pokemon Center by Mount Moon, which could potentially provide us with different options for Tauros, depending on what Mr. Magikarp is.
Yeah, so that's also another really important point, is that we don't want to die here. I actually maybe should have safety saved because of this, But we don't want to lose our money here, because we need at least 500 money to buy the Magikarp. There are two reasons we want to do this. First, because it could be something really good. But the more important reason is because we want Pokemon to be able to learn HMs. We have 4 HMs we need to learn in this game, and every Pokemon will have a 50-50 chance of learning any given HM. So we need things in our party to be able to learn HM moves. So we need to buy this Magikarp. We saw that, by the way, that Venusaur was about to use Solar Beam on me, but fortunately I was able to kill it before it did that, because that would have murdered me. But we're going to get to this route just fine, and stop by its Poké Center, heal, and buy the Magikarp. And we'll see what it is. I probably will not use it, but stranger things have happened, so... We'll
I'm personally pulling for a Payday Kakuna.
What's funny is I was going to say Payday Metapod, I kid you not.
Great minds think alike.
We both just love trolling, that's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
He does say that it's a Magikarp, by the way, but it's actually a Parasect. So,
okay.
interesting bait and switch there. He gave us a better Pokemon. Just for fun, let's check out what it's got. It knows Sky Attack, Fury Swipes, Hypnosis, and Bubble Beam. That is suboptimal. It's not the worst, but...
Well, Hypnosis is something.
Kind of. Sleep moves they're nice for fights that I can't win otherwise, but they're kind of slow.
This needs more
Fury Swipes if you want to see more multi-attacks.
We were gonna scout this Starmie real quick, just because, wow, that's a Starmie. That's really good. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna catch this, because I got some Pokeballs to spare.
What's funny is I said it needed more Leech Seed, and Starmie has Leech Seed. This game is listening to me, I love it.
Hydro Pump Starmie.
Oh! We're catching this. Oh baby, we're catching this.
Wow.
We're catching this. That's Hydro Pump and Thunderbolt. We're using this.
All you need now is Ice Beam and you're perfect cover.
This is it. Except we're having trouble catching it for some reason. It's good that I made a safety save before I went to Mount Moon. I did that for kind of no reason, but it's like I saw this coming, because this is actually I'm gonna try to catch this Starmie for sure. We are not having great luck catching it though, unfortunately. Even though it's burned and has pretty low health. Cripes. Okay, we're gonna have to reset. I think we're gonna, I'm gonna spend time catching this Starmie. That's too good to pass up. Starmie is one of the best Pokemon in the game. It's fast, it's strong, it's got a good typing, Water Psychic, it's great typing. And it knows Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump, so we want that, obviously.
And this one has the added benefit of Leech Seed, which gives you that long game potential as well in those crazy, difficult fights, so... Yeah,
maybe. I'll probably forget Leech Seed, I probably won't use it that much. But it might help if something gets, really bad.
Well, the thing is, with Starmie being a Stone evolution, it's not going to learn any more moves, so it's only going to be TM moves that you're going to get. Hello, Dratini, how are you?
Yeah, Dratini's not very good, unfortunately. It's bad. It's slow, and it takes a long time to level up, or to evolve, so we're not going to bother with that.
It's really hard to imagine, though, that this Starmie will need anything more than Hydro Pump and Thunderbolt. That's a pretty good combo. Yeah,
it's pretty good. So our one problem here is that I don't know when we're going to find another one. This is really questionable, actually. It was level 11, and I don't remember what that corresponds to in the real game. That might be a Geodude? That might be a Paris, though. I don't think it's a Clefairy. I guess I'll just start walking through Mount Moon and see if we find another one, and if we don't, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we'll do. I really want that Starmie, though. I'm really sad that I didn't catch it on my first try, because that would have helped me out considerably. That's an Arcanine. That's also a pretty good Pokemon. I'm kind of committed to looking at this Starmie now, but we'll check it out. Mega Kick. Okay, never mind. Now, it is worth noting that Mount Moon is the only location in this game where we actually have to get into wild encounters. After this, we'll be able to buy repels, and then we'll never see another wild Pokemon ever again. So Mount Moon luck is a thing. We're also going to drop down and get this TM1. Check it out. It's Fire Punch. That's actually really good. It's not good for Tauros because he always has Flamethrower. But if Starmie happens to learn it, that would be great. I would absolutely use that. So normally I would love this encounter luck right now, except I was actually looking for an encounter. So, so I'm just gonna keep walking around because I really want this Starmie. We're not leaving without this sucker. Forget it.
Because like I would be really worried with this Tauros and its move pool so far. It basically doesn't appear to have any way to fight rock types.
Yeah, that is a concern. The only nice thing about that is that most rock types don't have very high special. If we run into an Omastar, though, we are just straight up boned, so I don't like that set too much. Whereas that Starmie, it'll get stymied a little bit by grass types, but it's not too bad.
If my research is correct here, that Starmie corresponds to the level 11 Zubat.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
I can't believe there would be Zubats in Mount Moon.
So, I didn't think I'd have to explain this, but I guess I'll explain it. There's a few different random encounter settings in this randomizer. So this one, it just randomizes every slot. So a level 7 Zubat, a level 8 Zubat, level 9 Zubat, level 10 Zubat, and a level 11 Zubat will all become different Pokemon of those levels. There are other settings. One is area 1-to-1 mapping, which would change all of those Zubats into all of one different Pokemon of those levels. And there's also global 1-to-1 mapping, which would change every Zubat in the game to one Pokemon. I prefer to just leave it random. That gives us a little bit more variety, just in case we need to go catch something. Are you kidding me? I've been walking around... I would have gotten through all of Mount Moon by now if I had this random counter luck. This is the one time I actually want to run into stuff.
I would like to throw out there that while this looks really slow, because it is, the combat advantages of this Starmie could drastically outweigh this over the rest of this game.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on how long this actually takes. I may have to give up at some point. This random encounter luck it's incredibly good, but incredibly bad, because I was looking for encounters. We have not seen another Starmie since then, and I don't even know if we're going to be able to catch it, because I had it burned and at pretty low health, and it still managed to evade all of my Pokeballs, which is unfortunate. Really would be better off if I had been able to catch it the first time.
Well, and while we are sitting here grinding for stars, I do have one other thing I want to bring up here.
Yes.
Get your bets in now, and take, you know, we take bribes and all that, but we have 2 fossils coming up, so which one do we want to take?
Sure, I'll, you know...
Look, we all know you're taking the Helix fossil because it's the faster.
It's the faster one, yeah. And we're not going to be using the fossil in this game. It's too late in the game for it to matter, so...
If you have nothing that can learn strength, isn't it possible it could come into play?
It's possible, but it's unlikely. Especially since I've already caught a Pokemon. Like, it's unlikely that I won't have anything that can use strength. It can happen. I don't think I've ever done it, but... So we've been wandering around for a few minutes. We have not seen the Stricken Starmie again. What a tease. Eventually I have to cut myself off. I don't know... I'm kind of committed to looking for the Starmie again. But I'm eventually going to have to stop and not look and just go on with this Tauros. We do have a lot of TMs in the game, so, I mean, eventually we'll probably learn something that's not Fury Attack and Flamethrower. Look, okay. I think the Starmie dream is dead. I really want to move on at this point. That's really sad. I'm really sad about that. But
and this is what happened, everybody, when you reach for the stars. So the lesson here, don't reach for the stars.
So continuing on through Mount Moon, I won't see this Starmie again. It's going to be different Pokemon on different floors of Mount Moon. These are considered separate areas. as far as randomizer is concerned. I think this is just going to be the marathon safe thing to do, because I don't know when I'm going to see that Starmie again, and I don't even know if I'll be able to catch it if I do, and if I don't, I'll have to reset. So, yeah, I'm really sad about that. I'm so sad. Here's another Tauros to make me feel better, I guess. Okay, so we're, gosh, this encounter luck was great. Too bad that I really want to find encounters again. So we're gonna save here. We don't want to lose and have to trek through Mount Moon again. So we always save here before we fight these trainers. There's two of them. This guy, and then the fossil guy. They're both pretty weak, so they're usually not a problem, but you could run into anything that could be a problem at any point in this game. You can never assume you're safe. And also, Fury Attack could just miss forever. That could just happen. So now we're in the battle of the multi-hit moves with this Kangaskhan. I probably should have used a potion before I got into this fight. We're going to use one now instead. And hope that Comet Punch misses, which is not. Actually, you know, Flamethrower is really doing a lot more damage than Fury Attack, so I'm just going to stick to that from now on. And we're going to reset because we didn't have enough health to get through that fight. Bit embarrassing, but that happens. Oh boy, we should not be 41 minutes and still in that moon. That's a really slow time. Well, that's randomizer luck for you. Potion, right. But we're gonna get into another random encounter for good measure, and it's gonna, no, I was gonna say it's gonna be a Starmie this time, but it's not. It's better for, we'll fight it for some experience. Some decent chunk. No, we didn't actually kill it. That's cool. Alright, round 2 with this guy. We're just gonna use Flamethrower. Actually, probably 2-hit kill this Kangaskhan, so we're just gonna stick to that. I'm overestimating Fury Attack a little bit, I think. Even with the stab, it's really not that strong. And it's super unreliable.
Tauros does have a pretty high special stat.
Surprisingly high. You wouldn't expect it to be, but it's up there.
I mean, I've played enough Gen 1 competitive to know Tauros is the best Pokemon ever.
Oh yeah, it's great. Tauros is deceptively strong. But even it is not going to survive long Biz Blizzards, so fortunately, I'm able to take down this Charmander before it froze us or killed us. One of the two. That fight was actually a bit difficult, so we're gonna make another safety save before we get to this next trainer, just because, oh boy. Unfortunately, we have this Tauros to level 18 now, which is much more respectable. If we get another good move, we should be fine with this Tauros. Gosh, I really wish we had this Starmie. I'm so sad, but, you know, what can you do? If we had wasted too much time... Oh boy. Okay, so that's a Golem.
There's the Golem you wanted, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Golem is just root and patrol right here.
And I just love how, you know, how derpy Golem looks in Gen 1.
Oh, it's got a great sprite, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a lizard has a growth on it. It's really what it looks like.
So here's another Pokemon that I don't want to see, and that's Slowbro. He is defensive as heck, and I don't have anything good to fight it with. Oh boy, so I'm going to use my last potion and hope for the best here. Fortunately, it's going to hurt itself in its confusion with Thrash a bit, and that'll help us out.
Some good news we just scouted. We saw Golem spamming Harden. That could indicate Golem might have a lack of decent attacking moves.
It's possible, and that would help me out quite a bit because it takes... The good thing about Golem is that he doesn't have very high special, so Flamethrower actually still does a fair bit of damage to him. So we're gonna get through this fight almost, like, barely surviving. I didn't see anyone suggest otherwise, so I'm going to take the Helix Fossil. It's quicker. I don't want to have to walk all the way to the Dome Fossil. It's all the way over there. We don't want to deal with that. So see if we get out of Mount Moon without any more encounters. And I do. So on this route we have a TM. It's normally, I think, a Mega Kick TM. But here it could be anything. We're definitely going to check it, because we want some more moves for this Tauros that I'm stuck with and I will resent forever. It's not a Starmie.
In the long run, there's a good chance this Tauros will eventually get Surf.
There's 50-50 chance of that Surf. Which is interesting, because you would think, oh haha, randomizer's so wacky, but actually Tauros can learn Surf in the normal game too. That's kind of a meme. Okay, so the first thing we do in Cerulean City, always, 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 is go to the Poké Center, because we want to save our position here. We do not want to go through Mount Moon again, ever. So we always go to the Poké Center. Even if we're fully healed, we still heal here. And then we could do either Misty's Gym or the route north of Cerulean. I like to start with the gym, because it's just usually quicker. No particular reason for that, it's just preference.
I guess I'll ask the question, even though you're probably not going to go there. Do you have in-game trades randomized?
Oh, yes, I do. I never check them, though. It's just for fun, I guess.
No, fair enough. I know it takes, like, 10, 15 seconds. I would always check them in case, hey, I've got this random Ghastly line running. I'm going to give you a Mewtwo. Like, I was doing one of these one time, and I was racing somebody, not an SRL race, and the trade was Poliwhirl for Mewtwo. And I'm like, okay, I'll remember that.
That's
two
fantastic.
Two routes later, Wild Poliwhirl. I'm like, I'll be back for this Mewtwo.
That is hilarious.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we just really don't have time to spend on stuff like that, so probably not gonna go out of the way. Celestia has a Kabutops, and that's a problem for us, because we don't have anything that can even come close to penetrating its defenses. She has an X defend on it, but I think I'm still gonna stick with Fury Attack, because, boy, well, I'll try Flamethrower. We'll see how it goes. But it's 4 times resistant to Flamethrower, being a Water Rock type, and yeah, that did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I would potentially just check the trade real quick as you enter the underground tunnel, because it's right there, but then again, I'm crazy and I'm not the one running it, so...
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember where the trades are, so I'm probably not gonna bother with them.
Kabutops is a really bad Pokemon.
Yeah, that was a nasty draw to end up with this Kabutops. It's looking like I'm gonna die here.
And it does no dig, so you can't just cheese it with Ghastly either.
No, I'm gonna try though. No, it's just gonna kill me. Poison will eventually just kill it though, which is funny. Well, Parasect might win just because Kabutops could decide to do nothing. But it decided to do something instead, and it killed me. We're gonna come back to this one later. That happens. Sometimes Misty has something annoying that we have to fight. And this is a case of that. So we're gonna stop by this house real quick though and grab this rare candy. There are 7 rare candies I will be picking up in this game. And all of them are like really like on the way. So it's worth it to pick them up. And save them for the Elite Four, because we want to get our levels up then, and that'll help us out a lot.
So, here's a question. If you run into if you don't find any good moves for Tauros, could it be a viable strategy to catch just like a random flying type on this route and see if you can just poison kill the Kabutops?
Maybe. Yeah, I guess that could happen if it gets really bad. The fortunate thing, though, is that by the end of this route, Tauros should be about level 27 or so, I think. So we should be able to just grind our way through the Kabutops anyway. But if things get really bad, we could end up just catching something. That, sure, that happens. It probably won't come to that. So we just fought a Ditto there, which is interesting, because normally Ditto only knows Transform. But in this game, it doesn't know Transform, it just knows 4 other moves. Just normal Pokemon, whatever. We got Toxic by the Jigglypuff, which could be a problem, but probably won't be. We should be able to win this fight before that becomes a serious issue. Our rival is very, very intelligent and is going to try to psych us out with Teleport. It's a good strat. Didn't pay off, but, you know, it could have worked. So we're just gonna have to go right back to Focus Center and heal off this poison. I'm not gonna deal with this. We're not gonna try to get through this route with poison on us. This is the longest unbroken stretch of trainers in the game. After the rival, we have 6 people at Nugget Bridge and then 4 in the route after that, for a total of 10 trainers we have to fight. So this is the one place in the game where sometimes we have to go back to the Poké Center and heal anyway, just because we run out of PP. And we actually can't, like, get through all of it. This Tauros is quite a bit of PP, though. Alright, so TG is gonna hop on out, but thanks for commentating with me, though, for the first hour of this. I appreciate it. And you'll be seeing him commentating our next run, Final Fantasy III.
Okay, to answer your question, Jackdaw, about what parts of this game are randomized, it's mostly just the Pokemon. Whether it's wild, trainers, what you get from gifts, including the starters, and all the things the Pokemon learn.
That's right. There are other things that could have been randomized, but for reasons decided not to. Like randomizing Pokemon's types and stats, just because we want to know what we're looking at when we fight something. Oh, what are we learning? Withdraw. Oh, go away. So withdraw, all that does is just increase our defense. We're not going to bother with that. That really doesn't do anything for us. That's a disappointing move learn, but oh well.
And for those familiar with later gens, withdraw is even worse in Gen 1 than in future generations because crits are much more common in this game, and critical hits will ignore the defense boost. Not that it would be a good move in later games either, but it's especially bad here.
Yes. I played that a little bit wrong. I probably shouldn't use Fury Attack because it missed, as it does. I'm taking a lot of hits here. Boy, we're just going to have to go back and heal a lot because this moveset's just not very good. And we're running into a lot of fairly strong Pokemon. Like this Slowbro, which is going to take at least 2 Fury Attacks, if not 3. Using Flamethrower will do nothing on this guy because he's got really high specials, so... Fortunately, sometimes trainers are very smart in this game, and they'll just use moves like Splash for no reason and waste time, which helps us out quite a bit.
Yeah. The way Generation 1 AI works, the majority of trainers act just like wild encounters and just use any move their Pokemon know at random. A couple of trainers have the so-called good AI, which is often really bad AI, because it only uses moves at super effect if it can, even if they're non-offensive moves, which can be hilarious.
Right, so you'll have cases where something will continue to use agility on your Golbat because it's weak to psychic moves like agility, even though agility doesn't work like that. It just doubles your speed. So sometimes that can actually be bad in randomizer sometimes because you can get soft locked. Or like locked into like having to wait until you can use struggle or something like that. That can happen. Doesn't usually, but I have had it happen before though. So that could be a little bit dangerous. So we've already had to heal and come back to Nugget Bridge here because we're taking a lot of hits. This Tauros, you really want to be able to one-hit kill things in this game because you just want to be able to sweep things away quickly and not have to take hits and slowly accumulate damage. But unfortunately this Tauros isn't quite strong enough to do that yet. Not even with Flamethrower. Not even with our flame-spewing bowl.
I mean, especially because you have to always remember, anything could use status moves at any time, so if you can't kill in one hit, the odds of you getting statused over several fights in a row end up getting pretty high. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. That's also why we never pick something that's really slow. So even something strong like Slowbro, we will never choose that as a starter because because it's just too slow, so it ends up taking way too many hits, and you're really rolling the dice if you're taking hits like that. You want to be fast enough to outspeed almost everything in the game, so that you don't just gradually, like, die by 1,000 cuts, basically. Fortunately, Tauros is, as I said, deceptively fast. He has like 110 base speed, which is ridiculous.
Literally all of Tauros' stats are good. It is one of the best Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, it's actually, and you're seeing, because I'm switching between Fury Attack and Flamethrower, it's actually really good to have mixed offensive stats in a randomizer, because again, you don't know what moves you're going to get. So if you can use anything, that's great. That's one of Ghastly's downfalls. It's one of the reasons I switched off of it, is because it doesn't have good attack, but it only had physical moves. So that would have been kind of iffy. But when I saw this Tauros, I was like, well, I could use either special or physical moves with it, so I have much more versatility going forward. So there's much greater certainty.
I know sometimes the Pokemon randomizers have a feature where you can do trait evolutions in a different way. Is that set in this right now?
Yes, so even if I use that Ghastly, it would evolve into Gengar at level 30-something. Speaking of Gengar, wow. Speak of the devil. So that's going to hold true for any trait evolutions like Alakazam or Machamp. You could get any Pokemon in this game. That's really important because... cripes. So this Gengar exploded on me, and I'm dead. That's annoying. So we're gonna... I guess we'll bring out Ghastly and see if we can finish this fight off. The answer to that, though, is probably no. And this is... We're gonna see another reason here why we don't want slow Pokemon ever, is because we could get Wrapped or Fire Spun, and we could just get locked into that move forever and never be able to do anything. And that is exactly what happened to Ghastly there.
The double tragedy here is Fire Spin means whatever slim hopes, and they were slim, that Parasect had are 100% gone.
Yeah, well, it decided to use, it decided to use Solar Beam instead, which I actually don't even think would have killed. Yeah, it didn't. But, I'm not gonna waste time, like, trying to fight that. That's ridiculous. This is really bad luck for Nugget Bridge. Like, I normally don't run to this bad, this hard a time on Nugget Bridge. It's pretty unusual. But, again, any fight in this game could be a problem. There's no way to know. Oh, right! I forgot about that. So, if you lose to this guy, you actually don't have to fight him again. You just wipe right by him. I forgot about that. It hasn't happened to me in a while, so I kind of forgot that little quirk. But for some reason, he doesn't fight you again. I don't know why. So, this TM is Mega Kick, and we're definitely going to learn it. It's not a great move. Like, it's really inaccurate, but it is strong and it has stab, so we want that for sure. That's going to be way better than Fury Attack. We're going to get rid of Poison Gas, because Poison is really not going to help us that much. It's just too slow. It doesn't really do that much damage anyway. It's really... yeah, it's not great. Mega Kick also only has 5 PP, which is a problem, because that means you run out of it really quickly. But again, it's a good move to have for situations like this, where... oh, cripes. This is what I'm talking about, though. This is why I hate inaccurate moves. Excuse me, because we could miss, and then we could get paralyzed, and then we have problems. Because I don't carry paralyzed heals with me everywhere, they just become inventory clutter, and I don't like inventory clutter. But, then we get paralyzed, and we can't do anything about it. We have 3 more fights in this route, and I'm paralyzed, but I think I'm just going to press ahead and hope for the best. I don't want to go back and heal again. It's already been like 3 times by now.
But yeah, it is certainly the case that since TMs and level up moves could be any move in the game, and there are more normal moves than moves of any other type, the odds of Tauros getting a good stab move over the course of the run are probably better than for many other species.
Yeah, that is true. There are a lot of normal moves, which is good. The unfortunate thing is that we really don't want normal moves. They don't have great type coverage, and we would like some different variety in case we go up against rock types or ghost types, etc. But normal type moves are pretty reliable, which is nice. Yeah, TM moves... the problem with TM moves and level up moves is that most moves in this game are bad. most of them are not going to be worth using. So we're going to be looking everywhere for any kind of move that is even somewhat good, and sometimes we won't find any at all. It is possible that we'll just be stuck with a Flamethrower Mega Kick Tauros forever. And there'll be nothing I can do about that, because there's just nothing available.
Are you saying you weren't excited to check out the Gus TM?
Oh boy, was I ever... There is actually a TM behind this guy, but it takes an extra fight to get there, and I don't feel like doing that, so I'm not going to do it.
See you later, Earthquake.
Yeah, it could have been Earthquake, who knows? It could have been Earthquake, it could have been Ice Beam, it could have been whatever, like, great move. But I just don't want to fight another guy. He has 4 Pokemon, it's a long fight, so... there are a couple of TMs like that are a little bit out of the way to get, that sometimes I go for if I'm really desperate. I don't think I'm quite that desperate, though.
If you can manage to make it through Misty, you do have 2 more TMs back-to-back, of course. Misty's and the Dig TM.
Yes, and so that's good news, at least. So we are on the last trainer here of this route. Once we get through her, we'll be able to get to Bill, get the SS ticket, and go back to Misty and try to fight her again. We're going to pick up a hidden ether here, just in case. Usually don't need this, but it's there. I also picked up a hidden elixir earlier in this route. Elixirs are really nice, because again, the PP problem, especially at the Elite Four, I'll almost always have to use an elixir to get through it. So we're going to pick up 3 elixirs, maybe a max ether, and also this ether that I just picked up. We probably won't need that ether, I'll probably just drop it, but just in case. We like to pick up a lot of items just in case, because we don't know what we're going to run into. So we're going to get this SS ticket, and then we can escape rope out of Bill's house, for some reason. Which saves quite a bit of time, so we're going to do that. And that'll take us right back to the Cerulean City Poké Center. This is one of the reasons why you always heal here first time you get here, because if you forget, you can escape rope back to Pewter City, and be really sad that you had to go through Mount Moon again. I've done this more than once, and I'm not going to do it ever again.
Are you going to avoid using the Vermilion City Poké Center just for this warp?
Yes, that is the thing. So yeah, I'll explain that. In Vermilion City, you have to go back to Cerulean City after you're done there. And the fastest way to do that is to escape rope out of the fan club, which you can escape rope out of for some reason. You can't escape rope out of the gym or the boat, the SSN, but you can escape rope out of the fan club, which we need to go to anyway, because we want the bike voucher. So we're going to avoid using the Poké Center in Vermilion City so that we can escape rope right back to the Cerulean City gym. This saves like about a minute, so it's like actually a really nice time save. And of course, Kabutops has Thunder Wave. I think he used that before, I don't remember, but yeah, even with this level 25 Tauros, we're still having problems here. I don't know why I'm using Fury Attack. I really should be using Mega Kick.
The Kabutops is Dig, Mega Punch, Slam, and Thunder Wave.
Yeah, once I used Mega Kick, that went really easily, though. Because that Mega Kick's like 100 base power, I think, and off Stab, that's going to be like 150.
I thought it was like 120.
Oh, it might be, actually. Off of Tauros's monstrous attack.
70% accuracy?
Yeah, so it's going to miss a lot, but it will take out almost anything. TM11 is Spike Cannon. That's like a slightly better version of Fury Swipes, but it's so, like, I'm not even going to bother checking to see if Tauros can learn it. I don't care. Whatever.
You found TM Polka Dollar.
Yeah, basically. The nice thing about TMs is that we can sell them, and we do need money in this run. More so than we would in a normal Pokemon Red run. So we're going to hang on to those TMs and sell them later. Probably in Celadon. That's where our first big shopping trip is going to be. But actually, I could sell them in Vermilion City as well.
It's all about selling things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they call it Celadon. Because you sell a ton of things. That, boy, I really tortured that one. Alright, so this guy is the Dig TM guy. Normally he'd give you a Dig TM, but in this game he gives you something else TM. And hopefully it's going to be something really good, like Earthquake, or Dig. Dig would actually be really great. I'd love Dig right now. Fortunately, this Flamethrower is finally starting to one-hit kill things now, which is really nice. And this guy does not tell us what TM he just gave us. We're gonna have to go check it out ourselves. It is Leer, which all that does is lowers defense, and we don't care about that. And it only lowers it by one
critical
stage.
hits would ignore enemy defense down too.
Yes.
These sort of status moves are really bad.
Yeah, critical hits are interesting in Gen 1 because they ignore all stat changes, including good ones and bad ones. So actually, even if you like boost your attack, and you critical hit, you actually do less damage. I'm also gonna pick up a full restore here. Just don't worry about that. Can't even see the message because it's so fast. But there's a full restore.
It's actually a really weird dynamic in vanilla Gen 1 because there's a lot of Pokemon who learn like Swords Dance and Slash, and you just kind of wonder why.
Yeah, I actually had this problem with Electabuzz in my previous practice run that went a lot better than this. Because I had Razor Leaf and Crabhammer as my major offensive moves. I'm like, well, I can't use X specials to boost their attack power because they just crit anyway, so they ignore that. So I had to look for better moves, but I eventually found Thunder Shock and Ice Punch, and that allowed me to use X specials in the Elite Four and just sweep them. But don't worry about that. It's not going to be nearly that easy in this run because I have a Tauros and it doesn't know any good moves.
I mean, it knows Flamethrower.
Flamethrower's alright. We will be able to use that. If it comes to it, we'll use that.
Oh, Randomassacre Star.
Yeah, it used Explosion, because of course it did. But it actually didn't kill us, because Tauros has really good defense. And Omastar is pretty low level.
Pick a stat and ask, is it good on Tauros? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it's amazingly powerful, even though it's just a bull. It doesn't look like anything special, it's just a bull. But
you say it doesn't look like anything special, but special is one of its many excellent stats.
Yes, it is incredibly good at, you know, breathing fire and such. And in fact, it actually does learn Fire Blast in Gen 1, which is interesting.
It learns basically everything you would ever want it to learn, and quite a few things you
it can learn Thunderbolt, it can learn Ice Beam, it learns all these, like, amazing special moves, which is ridiculous.
And then in Gen 2 onward, it has, like, base 35 special attack, and it's not a good Pokemon, but, man, that Gen 1 Tauros.
Yeah. So we're going to buy some Super Potions, because, yeah, Super Potions are a good healing item at this point in the game, and we need healing items. Actually, I'm going to buy more than 4 or 5. We're also going to sell some stuff, because we're here. We're going to sell these Pokeballs. We're not going to use those. Not at this point. So yeah, we do have to clean our inventory a lot in this run, because Gen 1 has an annoyingly small inventory. I'm going to buy a few more Super Potions. There we go, that's good enough. We also buy 3 Repels here. We're going to use those in Rock Tunnel. And then, after we get through Rock Tunnel, we'll buy Super Repels, so we only need 3 Repels for that. But we will need that. Okay, so this is SSN. There are some optional items we can get here, like a couple of TMs and a rare candy, I think. But I prefer to just skip by those and just go straight to our rival here. And get the HM cut. It just takes too much time, and we're already wasting a lot of time as it is. A good run at this point would be about 50 minutes, but we're an hour and 7 in, so let's just get moving.
Yeah, and a big factor everyone has to remember, there's an extremely high probability this Tauros is going to be massively improved in Celadon City. So, if he can just make it there, this run could change in a hurry.
Yeah, exactly. That is absolutely true. Unfortunately, the fights in this city are not usually that bad. We have a rival here, but he's pretty underleveled compared to us right now. And then so is Lieutenant Surge. He is pretty underleveled compared to us. So we should be able to roll over through these fights and not have a problem, unless this Porygon decides to high jump kick us, in which case we could have problems. It's possible.
So I saw in your notes that the trash can puzzle is a little wonky.
It's broken as heck. It's hard to even explain. I will try once we get there. Sorry, I had to think about learning, I've already forgotten what it was.
Comet Punch.
Comet Punch, right. I think that's better than Fury Attack, but I don't even remember. Like, I don't care. Fury Attack is fine. I'm sticking with that. I think Comet Punch is like similar. Might be stronger. I don't care. Whatever. Like that's strangely flippant attitude to have about this run. I know, but like whatever. I don't remember.
I mean, a big part of the logic has to be the odds of you using either of those moves for much more than the past 20 minutes aren't that high.
No, they're really not. So I just don't remember how much power Comet Punch has, because I couldn't care less. So we got an HM1 cut. We're going to hang on to that until we actually get to the bush, and then we're going to see if anything can learn it. Sometimes nothing can, and then we have to go catch things, in which case I shouldn't have sold those Pokeballs I just bought. But don't worry about it. Alright, here comes the cutscene.
Any TM or HM is a 50-50 of being learned. So with 3 Pokemon, he has a 7 out of 8 of being able to learn Cut. Really, hopefully, Tauros is not the one who has to learn it.
We don't want to learn Cut. Cut sucks. It is better. It is better than a what is it? Fury Swipes? I forgot what move it is. Fury Attack. It's better than Fury Attack. So, if it came to it, I would learn Cut on Tauros if I absolutely had to, but I'd prefer not to, because we'll be stuck with it if we do have to. Nope, we can teach Cut to absolutely anything we want. We'll teach it to Parasect. We'll get rid of Sky Attack. This Parasect can no longer fly. It will instead cut things, which is appropriate.
I personally prefer my Pokemon to know Sky Attack once and Water Gun twice.
Okay, so Trash Can Puzzles. You're going to notice that I'm only checking certain cans. That's because only certain cans can actually have the switch in the first place. Then we're going to do a safety save. And we're going to save scan these cans. Normally it's supposed to be a can that's adjacent to the can, but sometimes it just appears in the upper left corner, and there it is. So, good. Now we're going to go fight Lieutenant Surge. If you want to really learn how the trash cans work, first of all, don't. Second of all, there's probably a map, like, Google search it, I don't know, whatever. Just take my word for it, it's broken, I did it the correct way, even though it looked really stupid. Here's an Onix. Onix
a theme that has been hammered home is Gen 1 is not well programmed.
No, it is not. Almost everything about this game is broken, and that's what makes it fun, in my opinion. Onix has really bad special and really bad HP, so we're just gonna flamethrower it to death, even though that doesn't seem like it'd be a good idea. We're gonna Mega Kick Zapdos, because it's got really high special. And we ran out of Mega Kicks, so we're gonna... I shouldn't have... Actually, should Flamethrower Snorlax. See, I make this mistake every time. I forget that there's no special split in this game. Meaning... In later gens, Snorlax has really high special defense, but in this game he doesn't, because it just has a low special stat instead. And he's gonna double edge me to death, so I'm just gonna Super Potion to be really safe here. Just in case, because I don't want to lose Tauros here. But then he decided to use Rage, and Rage is one of the worst moves in the game. When he uses Rage, he locks himself into it, and I can just kill him at will, because Rage does like almost no damage. It's a completely broken and stupid move.
Rage actually has some of the most complex mechanics of any move, but like they have all these crazy nuances, and they all come together to the move is just worthless.
I know, it's really weird, right? Like they spent a ton of time working on this stupid move. And it's worthless. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, like, I think it has a bug where if it ever misses, it goes to 1 out of 256 accuracy.
Yes, that is true. That does happen. So you never want to use Rage. The TM was Mega Drain, by the way. You
pretty much soft lock yourself if you use Rage yourself against something that can't kill you.
Yes, that is absolutely a thing that can happen. I mean, using Rage basically soft locks you anyway because it's so bad that you won't kill anything. Even if it does work. Okay, so we got our bike voucher, and we're going to escape route out of the fan club and back to Cerulean City, saving a fair bit of time. And we're going to Poke Center here while we're here. We could...
So what's your plan for when you want to use that rare candy?
Elite Four. We're going to save it until the Elite Four, because that's the time that we'll get the most value out of it, is using it when we're highest level possible. So we're going to get the bicycle now. Now get ready for Happy Bite music throughout the entire rest of the game. It's gonna be fun. So we're gonna do a little bit of inventory management here. We're gonna move the bicycle up to slot 1. I'm gonna move the escape ropes up a bit. We're gonna move the repels up a bit. There, that's fine. And then we're gonna get on our bicycle. And enjoy the bicycle music for the rest of the game. Gosh, should I try? Yeah, I should actually try learning Mega Drain. I was thinking about it, and I'm gonna try it. Can't learn it. Okay, never mind. So now our next stop is Rock Tunnel. There are a couple of trainer fights on the way there, and then there's 5 trainer fights inside Rock Tunnel. Last time I played this game, like, last time I practiced this, I did not run into any accidental trainers in Rock Tunnel. I was very proud of myself. We'll see if I can pull that off again, because I'm really terrible at this game. And sometimes I forget where to go. It happens. And I really need to swap Fury Attack out of slot 1 to keep using it. Just by habit at this point.
Yeah, Rock Tunnel in this game's pretty funny. Like, it's dark, but I remember, even as a kid, I did not have trouble doing it without Flash.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. You can see where you're going. You can't see where people are in Rock Tunnel. That's really the only thing. But if you don't care about, like, how many people you fight, it doesn't matter. I do care, though, so it matters to me to know where the people are. So I do have a route that I know how to take through Rock Tunnel that'll get me through it. So yeah, you don't need Flash, obviously, and that's great, because Flash takes a really long time to get. You need to catch Pokemon and, like, go back to this stupid place, and we don't even need to worry about that, so whatever. Growth, interesting. That's probably not worth learning, actually, because we can just use X specials. But that does, so Growth raises our special stat by 1. And since Special covers both Special Attack and Special Defense in Gen 1, that's pretty good. But again, we can just buy a huge stack of X Specials and do it that way instead. So it's not worth using a move slot on, probably. If it was Amnesia, that raises our special stat by 2, that would be worth using. But it's not Amnesia, so never mind. We're now getting to the point where this Tauros is fine, and we're kind of seeing why I probably shouldn't have spent as much time looking for Starmie as I did. I just really wanted it. But this Tauros is fine. It's fine, whatever. And once we get to Celadon, we might learn some nice moves. I always like this trainer here at the end of this route, by the way, because it looks like you have to fight her, but you don't. You just walk right by her vision, she doesn't say anything about it. I did take some damage, I used a couple Mega Kicks, so we're going to stop at this Poké Center real quick.
Yeah, it's really kind of a shame, and you kind of run into that trap in a lot of randomizers, I find, where the Starmie was so appealing, because it definitely would have been better, but what you had was good enough.
Yeah, I definitely would have stuck around and waited for it if I had nothing good, but yeah. I probably shouldn't have wasted time looking for it, but, well, whatever. Sometimes you make bad decisions in randomizers. You just kind of have to, like, you have to look at a situation and decide what has the best chance of getting me to the end of the game as quickly as possible. And in this case, it's probably not waiting for the Starmie. But I wasn't sure, like, how long it would take me to encounter another one. And the answer turned out to be a long time, so...
And I mean, you ran into Kabutops and Omastar. If they'd been just absolutely terrible, you know, they'd been like Amnesia Psychic. Yeah,
that could have happened. So sometimes you never know what you're gonna run into in this game, and you just kind of have to place your bets on things and just hope that it's good enough to get you through the rest of the game. So this Rhydon sucks. Rhydon doesn't have great special, but it does have a lot of HP, so Flamethrower is gonna take like 4 hits to kill it. And that sucks. This is why we buy Super Potions, that's all I can say about that. I really hope Blizzard does not freeze me. That would suck. Royally. It did not. It took 5 Flamethrowers to kill this guy, actually. Yeah, that is a weird-looking schoolgirl. If you'll notice that, just for fun, like trainer names have been randomized, because we randomize everything, except the things I don't want to randomize, because they're too hard.
I don't know, that looks like what I'd expect a schoolgirl to look like.
You know, they're kind of going through an emo phase now, I guess.
You really shouldn't force your assumptions on schoolgirls.
You know, you're absolutely right. Schoolgirls can look, you know, they can dress however they want to. They can look like, what are those guys called normally? Like, Pokemaniacs? They can look like Pokemaniacs if they want to. We're all Pokemaniacs. And this girl can be a bug catcher if she wants to. I mean, why not? Even though she didn't use any bugs.
Let's take a moment to appreciate Wigglytuff's sprite.
Oh god, Wigglytuff is amazing. It's just delightfully horrifying. Really, we should take the time to appreciate any of Gen 1 sprites when we can, because they're all amazing. Okay, I sometimes mess up that room, and I didn't this time, so that's good. I didn't mess up that room either, good. We do have to fight this guy, who asks if we can beat his power. The answer is sometimes.
Hopefully is the best answer.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I've been saving my Mega Kicks, so I'll start using some of these and miss. Because this Seeking is a real threat, man. Like, you don't want to mess with Seeking. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here he is. There's Mewtwo. This guy's got a wild Mewtwo and he's dead. Whatever. You can't take a bull kicking him in the face. Sometimes, you know, randomizer, sometimes you can turn legendaries off, but that's no fun. Who wants that?
I mean, we've already seen Mewtwo and Zapdos.
Yeah. We haven't seen any Mews yet, but those can also appear. Spoiler alert.
The champion will have one, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Mew is actually, like, that's actually really terrible, because he has, like, really high defense and special defense, so they're really hard to kill. So hopefully I don't see any Mews, but, here's another Wigglytuff. Just look at those eyes. They're just huge. Oh, that's a Dragonite. We're gonna Mega Kick that. Dragonite has really good stats, so if he stays alive too long, he could mess us up really bad.
It seems like it's an interesting dynamic in this randomizer. Some Pokemon are really good, mostly in the player's favor, like Tauros or Starmie. Others go the other way, like Dragonite or Rhydon. They'd be so risky to use yourself, but they're so dangerous as opponents.
Yeah, I would probably not want to use Dragonite normally, because he has a 4 times weak to Ice, and that's gross. And also he doesn't have great stabs. I mean, he's got good stats, so he'd be okay, but it's not great. So we're in Lavender Town, but we're not doing anything here yet. We're just gonna go right by and fight this guy. I don't need to stop in the Poké Center yet. I think I'm okay. It's a bit of a, well, it's a bit of a risk, actually. I could have messed up here horribly if I die, but that's okay. Ekans is not going to be a huge threat. This guy's only got level 24 Pokemon, and we have a level 30. Oh, cripes. I should have spoke too soon. That's another Mewtwo. We don't know what this Mewtwo has, actually, so it might not have anything strong at all. Oh, I lied.
I often assume Mewtwo's aren't very powerful.
It's got Clamp, which actually really sucks. Hopefully we don't die. That's all I can say to that. Oh, boy. I may have spoken a little bit too soon.
Twitch delay won't let me suggest it, but why not just switch out of Clamp to guarantee Tauros will get another move, sack one of your scrubs?
That would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? Oh, I'm dead. So, that was hubris on my part. I invited that on myself. I commentator cursed myself by suggesting that that was not going to be a problem, but it totally was. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm at
Hydro Pump Mewtwo would be very good if you had it.
Oh boy, wouldn't it? I have to leave and go back to the mart and buy some repels again. Because I'm at the start of Rock Tunnel again. This won't really cost me as much time as it might seem, because I've already fought the trainers in Rock Tunnel. Do I have to fight this guy to get back? What the heck? I don't. Do I have to fight this guy? I do. Okay, whatever. But I do have to get some repels, because that's going to be way faster than just going through random encounters. Wow, that was a really stupid move on my part. I should have just healed in Lavender Town and not played it stupid, but I played it stupid. I did not go for Marathon Safety. I just barreled ahead and died instead. I would have healed in Celadon if I had killed that guy, but of course he had a Mewtwo and killed me with Hydro Pump. So I ran out of Mega Kicks. That's just how it goes. What a total waste of time.
It seems like a very difficult balancing act, because if you take the safeties every time, your time's inevitably really slow.
It is,
but any trainer could kill you.
Absolutely, and that's why I said, like, it's probably not going to kill me, so I'm just going to go ahead and not take the safety. But it killed me, so, you know, hey, whatever. So we're going to buy 3 more repels, and then get our bike ride back to Rock Tunnel. Again, this takes a long time, but it's faster than fighting wild Pokemon, so whatever. So at this point, like, normally I'd be about an hour into the game right now, but I'm an hour and 25 in. Hopefully we can cut the sub 3. That's my goal now, is to be underestimate. Randomassacre. This is, get used to it. This is just the status quo. Is desperately trying to be underestimate, even though I gave a pretty generous estimate to begin with.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see some randomizer runs throughout this marathon that go the other way and get incredibly blessed, I'm sure.
Oh, great.
Beat estimate by like an hour.
Yeah, that makes me feel better.
I mean, it's a randomizer. You could have had that Starmie as a starter.
I know, that's the thing, right? Is that you just have no control over anything, basically. If that Starmie had been a starter, we would be like so well off right now. Like this would be a crazy fast run if I started with a Starmie that has Thunderbolt. That's incredibly powerful. But instead,
you'd probably be what, in the Safari Zone by now?
But instead, we started with like a ghost that kicks. So, yeah, I'd probably about Safari Zone. Well, no, not really, but.
It doesn't have legs, but it kicks anyway.
Yeah, it you know, it tried its hardest, but wasn't good enough. Okay, so we're almost out of Rock Tunnel again. I will safety save it for this guy this time, now that I know he has a Mewtwo. I mean, again, I should be able to kill him. I have Mega Kick back now, because I healed after I died. Actually, it was really bad to lose that guy, because I lost some money for that, too. And losing money is bad, because I want to have as much money as possible.
Because money does 2 things. For one, he might need to buy some useful TMs, and for 2, stacks of X items are what can really break combat in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to buy... Well, it's going to depend on what moves I find in Celadon. I haven't decided if I'm going to commit to X Specials or X Attacks yet. I really don't know yet. It's honestly kind of an open question. But I will buy like 50 of them, honestly, like literally. I'll spend like $20,000 on them if I can. Holy cow, this Mewtwo's got Earthquake as well. It's ridiculously powerful.
This Mewtwo could have been a starter.
Oh gosh, it could have been. And that would have been amazing, but what can you do?
Out of curiosity, because I missed the very beginning, what were the other 2 starters as opposed to Ghastly?
So there's a Raichu that had really bad moves, and a Zubat that I didn't even bother checking.
Oh, I don't know, Zubat seems appealing.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, Poison Flying, low stats across the board, what more could you ask for?
There's a nugget here, I'm gonna find this nugget. I forget which row it's on, but I want some extra money because I died. Yeah, actually, Poison Flying is not a terrible type for this. I don't know. Golbat's not that strong. It's kind of iffy. Okay, whatever. I can't find the nugget. Let's move on. I don't need the money that badly. I'm not that starved for money.
I think as kids, every time we were playing the game, we were always so excited to reach Mount Moon because we were like, yes, now finally I can catch a Zubat, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. We were also excited to catch Zubats.
I mean,
more excited.
The only Pokemon I really liked seeing more than Zubat was Tentacool.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, the irony is that Tentacool is actually really good in this game. If I found a Tentacool starter, I'd actually be really happy. That's one of the best starters of the game. I'm not even kidding. Tentacruel is like super strong. He has really high special. Water Poison's a fine typing. Like there's no problem with that at all. So we picked up the Eevee here, and it was a Butterfree. It's actually level 25, so sometimes if it's a really strong Pokemon, we can use it. But, Butterfree's, whatever. We're just picking it up to have extra things to learn HMs. We're gonna go for this Fly HM first, because, if we get it and we teach something Fly, we can just fly right back to Celadon. And then we can, we're gonna do some item depositing. We're gonna get rid of some key items that we don't need anymore, so we can free up some room in our inventory.
There's also just the risk management of finding out as soon as possible if you have nothing that can learn Fly, so you can deal with that.
Yes, absolutely. Tauros can learn Fly, which is interesting. I'm not gonna teach it Fly yet. I'm gonna see what we get in Celadon first. I may consider teaching it Fly, if that turns out to be one of my better options. We'll leave that open for the moment, though. So I'm actually not going to deposit HM2 right away. I am going to go in here and heal the Poké Center, though.
No, Pokemon stats are not randomized.
Yeah, again, it's just because I don't want to have to spend hours doing intel to find out what Pokemon are what. I want to when I see a Pokemon, I want to know what it is right away. I don't want to have to guesswork.
The things about a Pokemon that are randomized on these particular settings are what moves it learns as it levels, and what TMs it can learn, as well as what those TMs teach.
Yes. Yes, those are all random. So all the moves we learn is totally random.
The randomizer does have settings. You can randomize the types of Pokemon. You can randomize what they evolve into, which is
that's
insanity.
Wild.
And you can randomize Pokemon stats as well. When you randomize all those things together, what species a Pokemon was originally doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like to do that, basically. It's a lot of work. I do not have a lot of money because of my death earlier. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of save scumming here. Body Slam, that's a really great move. Let's see if Tauros can learn it. It can. So that's really good news.
Yeah.
Low kick is not great.
To throw out the
Leaf.
competitive Tauros, it was always Body Slam, Blizzard, Earthquake, and Hyper Beam. So hey, that's probably a good sign, right?
Yeah, it can also learn Razor Leaf, which is interesting. I don't even know if I'm going to need it. So that's 32 and 2. I'm going to remember that. We'll buy them again later. But that's really, really, really good. Really good news that we can learn both of those. With Body Slam especially, we're going to definitely rely on that.
In Generation 1, moves with a high crit rate always crit, so Razor Leaf is a 100% crit rate, and it covers things like Omastar, so that has a lot of potential value, I think.
Yes, it does. I'm a moron. I accidentally bought TM1 even though I already know what's in it. Oh my goodness, we also have Psychic. That's interesting. So this Tauros is turning out great. So I have so many move options here that it's almost like... it's ridiculous. I may actually buy 3 TMs here at the end of the day. So that was TM5, that was Psychic. We'll check out TM17 as well. Hard.
Yeah, and of course you're probably noticing kind of the menu disadvantage of Gen 1. Later Pokemon games, you can just see in the menu what moves TMs teach, but in this game you have to try to use them. That's a big factor here in Celadon City.
Yes, it is. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go by TM32, TM2, and TM5. I cannot stress enough how lucky this was. It is so hard to find TMs that have any good moves in them. To get 3 and to be able to learn all of them is absolutely incredible. I cannot stress enough how lucky that is.
So with all these good TMs, are you going to check the 3 on the roof?
Yeah, probably. Well, I might not actually need to. I have to go up there anyway, though, because I need to buy a drink, so, for the Celadon guards. Whoops. Okay, so now we have Flamethrower, Body Slam, Razor Leaf, and Psychic. That's actually a really nice moveset. we don't have a lot of money now, which is a problem. I really should go looking for that nugget in the tunnel again, but we can come back here later if we need to.
Actually, could you take the 3 TMs up top just to sell them? Is that a profit?
Yes, it is, and I will do that. We are going to stop here to buy a Pokédoll. We'll use that on the Ghost and Pokemon Tower so that we can skip the fighting the Rocket Hideout for the Silph-Scope. We don't need to do that in this game. We could just use the Pokédoll instead. This game's well programmed.
The normal sequence the game intends is for you to go through the Rocket Hideout here in Celadon City, get the Silph-Scope to identify the Ghost in Lavender Tower. But because they program good, the Pokédoll that makes wild Pokemon flee works on the ghostly Marowak. So do none of that.
What the hell? These TMs are so good. Okay, well, I guess I'll check and see if we can learn Hyper Beam. Oh my god, we can. I don't really want to use Hyper Beam, oddly enough. Oh gosh, I can also learn Swords Dance. That's ridiculous. I don't even know. Like, I have never had this many options before, ever. This has never happened. I have never had like 6 different moves to choose from. I'm gonna have to actually think about it for a while. I'm gonna hang on to these TMs and consider my options for a bit. So I don't want to make a decision on that right away.
Yeah, in Generation 1, if Hyper Beam kills an opposing Pokemon, it does not have a recharge turn. So it's a much better move than it is in later games.
See, I also have a problem here where I don't know if I want to use X specials or X attacks. Either one would work just fine. Wow, this is really interesting and weird. Gosh. I don't have a lot of money, so I'm going to come back and do that part later, I think. I'm going to buy 12, 11 Super Repels. I like to buy an extra just in case I accidentally use one. I won't buy any healing items now, I guess, because I don't have money. Oh, wow, this is really interesting.
There are relatively few things that are really going to be able to brick wall you with this moveset, though.
No, nothing can brick wall me with this set. Well, I say that, but actually something probably will.
You're gonna run into someone who has, like, a team full of just exploding electrodes.
It's possible. It can always happen. And you're thinking too small, by the way. It's not gonna be electrodes. It's gonna be exploding Snorlaxes that have stab and huge attack. Because anything can learn explosion. I just checked.
Oh, I was just coming up with something fast enough to outspeed your Tauros, so you don't get to do anything.
Oh, right, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, Tauros might still outspeed Electrode anyway. So I'm thinking about this. Hyper Beam is really strong, but only has 5 PP, and Body Slam is probably enough anyway. So I don't think I really need Hyper Beam. I really need type coverage, is what I need. But it will one-hit kill some things, so like it might be useful. Swords Dance is interesting because it allows me to get up to speed faster without needing to buy X attacks. But I would need to get rid of a move in my moveset to do it. I really need to think about this for a second. So I have Fire, Grass, Psychic coverage. So what does Fire take care of that I actually need? It takes care of Grass types, which is good. It takes care of Ice types, which is meaningless. Razor Leaf is good against these Water types like Blastoise. I can't power up Razor Leaf with X specials, like I said before, because it always crits, and then it ignores my stat boosts. But it's going to be really strong otherwise.
The main benefit of Razor Leaf I see is covering, like, the Rhydon, the Golem, the Omastar, the Kabutops.
Omastar and Kabutops are big. Psychic can also cover those, but Razor Leaf is even better. Tauros has different ideas about movesets, and he's trying to learn Double Slap. We're not going to learn Double Slap.
I mean, something you have as an option is to just sit on that Swords Dance TM and buy X specials, and if you run into something that brick walls you somehow, you can just learn Swords Dance.
Yeah, that is an option. It's a weird option. I don't usually hang on to TMs in case I need them, but I might actually do that here. So, where am I going? Lavender Town. Right. I'm a little out of it just because I'm trying to think so hard about what moveset I want. The nice thing about the moveset I have right now, though, is that it covers basically everything. Hyper Beam is really tempting, but it's kind of niche, actually, because I really only need it if I can't kill something in one hit otherwise. Body Slam is just more reliable. It has more PP. Wow, I don't know. I might not need Flamethrower that much. But I don't really feel comfortable getting rid of it either. Let's see. Psychic is not good against Psychic types. And all of those I can Body Slam if I need to.
So Flamethrower does have 15 PP, which is a big plus for it.
Yeah, Psychic only has 10. Huh. Wow, that's just really interesting. I think almost no matter what I choose, I'm going to be pretty solid for the rest of this run.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you just solved one species that Flamethrower is a big deal against, too, the Executes and Executors.
Yes, because they're resistant to Psychic. And Body Slam actually... Like, Executor has pretty high defense, so it's nice having something super effective against it. For the most part, yeah.
And just to demonstrate how powerful this Tauros is, that was a Moltres, and it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, we're like 13 levels higher, but yeah, it's powerful. You're seeing that Body Slam is going to put in a lot of work. Pokemon Tower is still going to be pretty under-leveled compared to our Pokemon. It's going to be Silph is where there's going to be a huge jump in level, and then we're going to see the game get a lot harder at that point. But for now...
Silph is also where we'll most likely acquire our last Pokemon, whatever replaces Lapras.
Yeah. We almost certainly will not use it, because it's level 15, which is just too weak to grind up at that point.
Could learn Surfer Strength.
You know, it could. So that's it. So usually we will go to do Silph before we go down to Fuchsia City, just because we want to get as many Pokemon as we can before we have to learn Surf and Strength. You don't really have to do it in that order. It's just a personal personal preference.
So if Tauros can learn Surf, would you want to do it in this situation?
I think the answer to that is no. Water-type moves don't really have great coverage in this game, oddly enough, because there's so many water types out there that are resistant to it. There's so many grass types that are resistant to it. There aren't really that many, like, fire and ground types. There are some, but there's not a ton, so it's, like, really not as good as you think. Obviously, it's still a really good move if you really need it, but I don't think I do. But... you know, it's an open question. We'll see. I'm so not used to having this many choices that I'm really sort of getting analysis paralysis here. Like I said,
I mean, this is kind of the beautiful thing about randomizers in general, is that, like, the aspects of the game that define a playthrough can just vary completely game to game. Like, here it's about making decisions about which powerful options you want to use. All of a sudden, certainly wasn't in the first half of the game.
Yeah, exactly. I really like that about Pokemon Randomizer, is that you have to make decisions every time you play this game. That's really fun. Like, normally when you play a Pokemon game, like if you're just taking your time or you already know what everything is in the game, you don't have to make decisions, because you just know what everything is and what everything can do. But in this randomizer, I don't, and I have to make decisions on the fly based on what this game happens to hand to me. And that can lead to really interesting decision making, and that's really fun for me. That's a thing I really enjoy about all randomizers, is just that decision making process as you play the game. And I think that's what makes them really special, especially to speedrun, because there's really a lot of different skills that go into speedrunning a game like this. Like not going right past the Pokédoll that you need to use. We need to get rid of this Marowak. Alright, there we go. It's 3 trainer fights here. They're all pretty underleveled, so they should be pretty easy. I'm not going to safety save for any of them. Famous last words, as we've seen.
And before more Hydro Pump Mewtwo.
Yeah, I mean, that can always happen. We probably will kill it now, because we've got way better moves than we used to.
Yeah, like with this moveset, it's hard for me to even come up with a good troll species. Like, early in the game, it was so easy for me to throw out Golem and Rhydon, and then the game went up to me with Omastar and Kabutops.
Yeah, those were definitely the trolls early in the game. Right now, there's nothing that I don't cover right now. Like, I think I'm just gonna stick with the set I've got just because it's good enough to win. Like, Swords Dance and Hyper Beam are cool, but they're not really gonna make it easier for me to win the game right now. They're kind of like extraneous. So this moveset's good enough to win the game, basically. The thing I need to decide is if I want to use X attacks or X specials. I'm leaning towards X specials because I have Flamethrower and Psychic, which is good coverage against most things except like Water Psychic. And also X specials increase my special defense, so that makes it a little bit better of an option in general.
I know they don't cost the same amount and your money's a little tight. What's the price difference there?
I don't remember. I should know that, but I don't. It hasn't really been a problem most of my runs, but here I died a couple times, I lost some money. Some money's a little bit tight, but it's not too bad. I will have to go buy them after this, though, because I really want to have them before Silphco. I don't know how much money I have right now, actually. As soon as that Omastar again, we're just going to raise really fit. It's going to die quickly. But again, we're going to see a huge jump in level when we get to Silphco. So the game's not going to be this easy forever. It's going to catch up to us.
There's certainly a huge amount of variation. Like, the Elite Four, in one sense, is just an overwhelming gauntlet. It's 5 trainers in a row with huge teams of very high-level Pokemon. But on the other hand, they could have Caterpies.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. Since if you have similar strength on, then all of their Pokemon are pretty strong, except for Bruno's Onyxes, which aren't really anything. But here, I don't have similar strength on, so they could just be anything. So they could be crap. How much money do I have? Let's check that out. That's enough. That I think it's worth it to go make a trip. I like to have some X items for Silphco, just because these fights can be tough. Sometimes I need to use X items just to get through them. Not usually, but once in a while it happens.
So now that you've gotten the Poke-Flute, here's the fun question we can all ask ourselves that doesn't really matter. What is Snorlax?
That is a question. Right, I almost forgot where I was going for a second. 5th floor. The guys that sell the X items are up here.
I mean, it's always just a funny thought to think something like a sleeping Metapod's blocking the road.
I'm actually gonna sell these TMs. I'm not gonna use them. They were cool, but no. I need the money. Okay, so let's buy 5 X speeds. We don't usually need X speeds, but once in a while. X specials are actually cheaper than X attacks. I wouldn't have guessed that, but that is true. That is the case. We're gonna buy as many as we can afford. That's 45. We probably won't need to use 45, but I have used 45 before. So that might seem like way unnecessary, and it probably will be. We'll probably get to the end of the game and it'll be like, I have 20 left over. It's like, why did I buy so many? But I just don't know what I'm gonna fight, so I'm not taking any chances.
Yeah, in any given fight, you're allowed to stack up to 6 of any X item.
Correct. Which
results in a 4x multiplier to that stat, which is overwhelmingly enormous. The stats do cap at 999, but let's just say if
Usually
that's a problem for you, you're probably winning.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what? I should have bought some revives by now, and I haven't done it yet. Oh, I need to go to the Poké Center and heal, actually. I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to check this TM guy down here for a little bit of extra money, and maybe he'll give me something crazy good. I don't even know what could improve this moveset at this point, but... yeah, I don't think anything can actually improve this moveset at this point. I'm going to check it anyway. Ice Beam would. If you gave me Ice Beam, I would use that. Let's Screech, though. That doesn't improve my set at all, so I'm not going to bother with this. We're going to sell it for a little bit of extra money, though, just because it's... yeah. I want to buy at least one revive for these fights coming up, because if Tauros goes down to something like an explosion, I'll be really glad I had it, basically. I'll need to buy more later, but we'll just buy the one for now. And then we'll head to Silphco. So again, there are 4 fights in this, including a fight with a rival and a fight with Giovanni. Both of those can be really tough fights, because they're pretty close in level to me by now. So I will definitely safety save before those. There's also 2 just randoms that I have to fight here too. They're usually not too strong, but once in a while.
So I would like just for us to appreciate that Silphco is a 14-floor dungeon, just full of all kinds of battles and items and garbage, and we're going to see such a small percentage of it.
Yep, exactly. We're not gonna see most of it, even though it's huge. It takes like a full hour to clear it out if you really want to, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, like, I can't think of a larger dungeon-style area in any Pokemon game than Silphco, if you really just go through everything that's there.
Yeah, it's huge. It's incredible how much work they put into it, but they made the route to get to the end, like, really easy. So we just have to go up here, and the card key is right here to open up all the doors. It's in a stupid place, but here it is.
I will say, as a kid, my first time, when I had no clue where I was going, this place was epic.
Oh yeah, this place is really cool. First time you play the game and you're like, you don't know what's going on. It's like, whoa, this place is huge. But we go through this door, go through on this warp tile, and then we're on floor 3 now. I'm gonna go up and go through this door, and then take the warp tile here. We're gonna save before we do this, because the rival's on the right on the other side of it. There is actually there's a place here where you can do an optional fight to get both a rare candy and a TM. But again, usually by this point in the game I don't need to, so I'm not going to bother with it at this point. So here's this fight. Again, he's pretty close in level to us, so this can go wrong. But it usually, I mean, we'll probably be fine with what we've got. This body slam is coming just short of knocking things out in one hit, which is really annoying. So far, nothing too strong. Wow, the
So the fun hypothetical is, how good do we imagine the Starmie would have been if he'd caught it?
I mean, by now, because I got so many good moves in Celadon, it might not have been faster at all, which is funny. Oh, that's an explosion from a Clefairy. It's actually going to do a lot of damage because it's got Stab, ironically. What can you do, though? I just have to take it and hope that I can get through the rest of this fight. That's a Lapras with Ice Punch. That's terrible news. So we're going to use that Revive. I only have 1, so hopefully that's enough. Oh,
I think that's basically screaming safety save before Giovanni.
So, you want to explain Gen 1 AI again?
Yeah, most trainers have the bad AI, which means they randomly pick between all their moves. Some of the stronger trainers, like most rival fights, use the good AI, where they will always use moves that super affect you, but they don't really check to see if they're offensive. Ghastly is a poison type. He is weak to Psychic. Teleport is a Psychic move. It's apparently the only Psychic move that Lapras does.
Look at this nonsense. This is ridiculous. I guess I'll just win the fight like this. That's fine. Whatever. This is safe. I didn't even need to revive that frickin' Tauros. I could have just left it dead. Who cares? Whatever.
I mean, I assume you're gonna find Tauros a useful Pokemon on Giovanni.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Okay, fair enough. I needed exactly 20 Seismic Tosses to do that. I ran out of them, but I did it. There you go. Done. I did it, and can you believe that Ghastly only leveled up to level 14 from all that? Like, what? Whatever.
And this is exactly why you don't use multiple Pokemon, because look how long it takes to catch something up.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really bad idea. You just don't use more than one Pokemon in this game. There is one exception. Sometimes you can catch the Moltres in Victory Road using the Master Ball that you get here. Some people do that if they really think they need the help on the Elite Four, because the level 50 Pokemon is pretty much ready to go. But I'm not going to do it here, because I just don't think it's necessary. Tauros is going to be fine. I'm going to do safety save here, because I'm a little bit banged up. I probably should have used the Super Potion before this fight, but I didn't. I could have switched back to Tauros and won that fight a little bit quicker, but it was way too funny to use Seismic Toss, and just Seismic Toss it to death while it teleported, so I did that instead, because that was funnier.
This same poorly thought out mechanic, most people probably know it from Lance's incredible love of agility if you started with Venusaur.
Yeah, that's a thing he does. He'll just use agility over and over, and think it's a really good idea, because agility is super effective on your poison-type Venusaur, but most of the time people don't have teleport in this game, but it's a randomizer, so things have teleport sometimes. Sometimes they have teleport twice in a row, and that is a psychic-type move.
The small downside here is there aren't really any non-offensive fighting moves, so that doesn't really help Tauros out. No,
something could decide to use Counter over and over again, I guess, which would actually hurt if I use Body Slam. Counter sucks in Gen 1. All it does is reflect normal and fighting type damage back at you. But I have a normal type move, so that could hurt. I don't think there are any other like fighting type moves like that though, no.
I always had fun running Counter Chansey.
Oh yeah, I did that too. And in Generation 2 I ran a Counter Blissey, which is really good, because everyone would try to use physical moves on Blissey because it's really hard to kill special moves, and I would just use counter on it, and people would be very surprised. That's neither here nor there. Giovanni is sometimes a really difficult fight. It's probably gonna be fine here. This Gengar's a problem. We're gonna use a Super Potion here. Psychic is going to be super effective against Gengar, but unfortunately he has really high special, so he can shrug it off pretty easily. Okay, he used Bide. That's good. Bide just takes a couple of turns, and it's like stores up like damage it takes, and then releases it back at you. It's really bad, because usually they just die before anything happens.
Yeah, like if Gengar ever got to release this Bide, it would have just totally wrecked him, but Bide is so overwhelmingly time-consuming that basically can't happen. More or less.
And yes, I can escape rope at a Silphco, which is really fast. That saves a lot of time. I could have gotten the Master Ball there, but I'm not bothering. I don't need it at this point in the game. It's just going to be clutter. It's going to be a waste of time. I'm very happy, though, that it feels like we're pretty much back on track with this game at this point. I've got a really good Tauros now with a really good moveset. I'm not gonna head out.
With 5 Pokemon, it's overwhelmingly likely he has something that can learn Surf and Strength, which is really the last possible progression block.
Yeah. And since I have X items and such, I can pretty much BS my way through any fight in the game at this point if I need to. So it's not like they'll get stuck anywhere. So I should be able to get a sub 3 at this point. This is still a bit of a slow run, but it got back on rails, and now you're really seeing what a fast run of a Pokemon Randomizer looks like, where I just kind of roll over everything because I have a good Pokemon. But it took a while getting there. I do enjoy runs where I have to catch something other than my starter, and this is one of those runs. Which I said is about 4 in 5 runs I'll use my starter the whole way. And about 1 in 5 times I'll catch something and use it, and that's what I did here. And I like those runs more, because it just kind of feels, I don't know, more personal to have caught something in the wild, to have to made a decision on something to catch in the wild and roll with it. That's what I did with this Tauros, and it worked out. I think it was a good decision.
I assume it's usually pretty obvious between the 3 starters which one's best.
It usually is. Once in a while it's like, oh, I have 2 good starters, but usually you don't. Usually you have 1. And usually it's pretty obvious. Yeah, so like I said, like I had an Electabuzz yesterday that was really obvious. The other day I had a Gengar that had Psychic. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be an easy run, and it was. What's his TM? Supersonic, I don't care about that. So we can escape rope out of Saffron Gym. It's really not that big a time save, but we can do it, and it's funny. So we're gonna
Oh man, you sure you don't want Supersonic? That gives you like a 55% chance to give them a 50% chance to hurt themselves.
Yeah, you know, I don't like my odds in that one. I think I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
I love a move that requires 2 coin flips to do anything.
Oh yeah, it's great, right? So now we're gonna wake up Snorlax, so taking bets on what that's gonna be. I played the Poke Flute. Snorlax woke up, but what is it really? Because that text is not, it's a Hitmonlee. Alright. So if you had Hitmonlee in your betting pool, you win.
There was just a sleeping Hitmonlee. There's no way around it. It was blocking the road.
Yeah, no. What can you do? Okay, so on this route, there is a rare candy in this patch of grass. I'm going to use the Super Repel, and then drive through it, grab it. There we go, got it. And then we're just going to go over to the side of Cycling Road here, and just stretch my arms a bit. Oh, so how are you guys doing? Have fun? Watch this run? It's good so far. 2 hours in. Got just about an hour to go before we get to the end of this. Okay, there we go.
Well,
sometimes I miss my turn to the end there.
Cycling Road, isn't it nice to just reflect on the long, winding, trainer-filled path if you go south from Lavender?
Oh yeah, it's, oh man, that would take so long to do. It's such a blessing that I don't have to go that way. Okay, so I should have actually, I healed, I think at some Poke Center somewhere that I shouldn't have. I want to heal this one, because I'm going to escape rope back here. Yeah, it's amazing, actually, sometimes how often you can avoid trainers in this game. So there's so many places where there are millions and millions of trainers, and I just never go there, because I don't need to. It's really incredible.
Yeah, a lot of the more complex areas in the game are not really worth visiting. Those huge routes over there, the Seafoam Islands, the Unknown Dungeon, really.
Oh, yeah. There's so many things out there, and I just don't care about any of them. It's great. Oh, I accidentally said no to going to the Safari Zone, but I do actually need to go there.
Yeah, the Safari Zone is what's going to give us Surf and Strength, and while he has pretty good Pokemon, if you're like in crazy desperate mode, Safari Zone does have some of the best leveled wild Pokemon relative to what your levels will be.
Yeah, and you don't even have to buy balls, which is really nice. Usually you're not going to catch something here, but if you're in a super dire position, you might.
Yeah, like if you're in, I have nothing I can do, and like you can't do Silph-Co, etc., you can come down to Fuchsia, and this is basically your last safety valve. There's such an overwhelming number of wild Pokemon here that it's essentially a mathematical guarantee you can get something worthwhile here if you dig it.
Yeah, although I mean, it could take a while though, because sometimes your odds of catching stuff in Safari Zone are like, ugh, I don't know. But you'll probably get something, so, you know, you could, I don't know. In any case, we don't have to worry about that.
Probably better than, like, going for the Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee.
Probably, actually. Yeah, that's also an option. You have to fight a couple things, but it is an option. Okay, so we're gonna escape rope out of Safari Zone. We could do it when we're outside, but not when we're inside for some reason. Don't ask me why, I don't know.
They programmed really good.
Yeah, this is a really well-programmed game, in general. We're gonna go get the Strength Tank Gem after we do the gym. It's just a little bit faster to route it that way. It's 3 fights in here. 2 jugglers. And Koga himself. 2 jugglers aren't really too much. Koga can have some strong Pokemon sometimes. He can be a bit of a pain. These Snorlaxes are terrible. They have Slash, which is a critical hit move. It will usually critical hit, and so it'll do a lot of damage coming out of Snorlax. So
yeah, critical hits in this game are based on your speed stat.
Mm-hmm.
The faster the Pokemon is, the more likely it is to crit, and moves with high crit rates like Slash and Razor Leaf are something crazy like an 8x multiplier to the rate, so it's overwhelmingly awesome.
Yeah, even Snorlax, something really slow like Snorlax, will still crit a lot with Slash. It's slow enough that it might not, Sometimes things are so fast that they will basically always crit with Slash. But,
I know at level 100, the only fully evolved Pokemon in Vanilla Red and Blue who can learn Slash and not crit with it is Parasect.
Yeah, that's probably true, because Parasect is super slow.
I think it has the same base speed as Snorlax. They're both base 30, right?
I think so. I won't swear to that, but that sounds about right. Parasect is...
all those runs you want to use Parasect as your main Pokemon with, what, it's 3-4 times weaknesses and horrible speed stat?
Yeah, look, Parasect is probably the worst Pokemon in the game for Randomizer. Onix is probably worse, actually, but Parasect is really bad. I'm actually curious about this Tauros' stats. I'm gonna look him up real quick. I could have looked them up right there. That guy dropped his balls, by the way. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, his special is actually a lot lower than I thought it was. His attack is much better. That's okay though. I'm still gonna stick with the X special strat because
You already bought 45?
yeah, exactly. And also, Body Slam, I mean, it could get stymied by Rock and Ghost types, and I don't have any other physical moves, so... I could have used Fly, actually. That still gets stymied by Rock types, but... I don't know. This should be fine. I don't expect to have any problems.
As you fight the gym leader, Master of Poison, Mark?
Yes, Mark, the Master of Poison. He does have 2 poison types to start out with, though. So he's almost living up to his title.
Peek at the first half of Razor Wind, one of those really good moves.
Yeah, Razor Wind is a charge up move that has... It's got like a decent power, like 80, but it's a charge up move, and it's normal type, so we don't care about Razor Wind. It's not scary at all. I have proven my worth to Mark, the Master of Poison. What's TM6? I mean, I might as well Rolling Kick, whatever.
Hey, Pokemon used Rolling Kick, it's like a signature move.
Rolling Kick actually is almost... That would be viable, just because it's a physical move. It could take out rock types. It's actually decently powerful. I should probably get on my bike now. By the way, no, you cannot escape rope at Koga's gym. I don't know why. You just can't. Just gonna go over here, give this guy his gold teeth, in one of the stranger subquests in this game, where you give an old man his gold teeth. And then we're gonna go over here and get this rare candy from behind this boulder after we learn Surf and Strength.
I mean, I think the escape rope thing makes sense. You can't escape rope out of gyms other than the ones you can.
Right, exactly. It's perfectly logical. Koga's the Master of Poison, so you can't escape out of his gym so easily. So I'm really glad I picked up this.
This is why picking up the Lapras is worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to learn Surf unless I had that. And also, actually, it's also learned Strength, which is good. So this super strong Magneton is going to move this boulder out of the way, and we're going to pick up this rare candy.
I personally think just throwing your magnet Pokemon in the water to ride it around is a really good idea.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. No question. Just an excellent idea all around. So we're going to fly back to Pallet Town, because who wants to go through Seafoam Islands? I don't. And we're going to surf...
It's actually amazing. Like, as a kid, it took me quite a while to realize this was an option, but it's just such an overwhelmingly good option.
Well, you know, I'd played some RPGs by this point, and I just assumed that something would stop me. But it turns out nothing stops you. So, there you go. You can just surf south to Cinnabar Island. You don't have to go through Seafoam Islands ever. You don't even have to bother.
So, does the Pokemon Randomizer have an easy way of, like, just communicating the flags? Like, the Zelda randomizers, you can just copy and paste them around?
It probably does. I haven't used it in a while, so I don't really know. I haven't raced with anyone. I've just been playing by my own. It probably does. I don't know. I would get you the string of characters that these flags are if I wasn't currently playing the game. There are 2 more places in the game we can use escape ropes. One is the Burn Mansion, and one, for some reason, is Blaine's Gym. So we're going to buy 2 more escape ropes, because So we didn't buy enough originally.
Hey, Blade Gym fixed the pattern. You can use escape rope. In
Yes.
the gyms, you can use escape rope.
Exactly. So there you go. We're also going to buy some hyper potions and revives, and we're going to sell some items because I should have done that originally.
Okay, the things that are randomized, to go over it again for anyone who's tuning in and wants to find out.
Yes, please do.
All the Pokemon are randomized, whether it's what enemy trainers have, what you find in the wild, or even what you get from gifts, including the starter. We've also randomized the moves that Pokemon learn, either by level or from the TMs, and that includes all the TM compatibility. Each Pokemon is a 50-50 of learning any given TM. Those are the high points. There's a couple other smaller things randomized. Those are the main factors that have really defined the run.
Yeah. So it's mostly just Pokemon locations are weird. They're all over the place, and moves learned could be anything. That's mostly it. That's still enough, though. That's like I have my hands full dealing with just that, so I'm not going to randomize Pokemon stats or types or anything like that. Oops. It's really nothing to talk about.
For those who are watching this and think the Pokemon randomizer looks really interesting and might want to be a little more aggressive, it gives you the full option to randomize that stuff.
Yeah, you can randomize types, you can randomize stats, so that Pokemon, like, can just turn into completely different Pokemon in effect. So you have, like, no idea what they can do.
Yeah, you could run into a Magikarp that's effectively a Mewtwo. You just don't know.
Yeah. But again, that's difficult to deal with, so...
Yeah,
for marathon safety, we're not going to do that.
Another big option that's not being used for the marathon, you can randomize the field items. Like, you grab an item, like right there you got a rare candy, maybe instead it would be like a super potion. The biggest reason not to do that is there's one point in the game where you have to give a guard a freshwater. And you'd think for speed it's really great. You can find a freshwater and you can skip all of Rock Tunnel. But the problem is it's totally random, so it turns into scavenger hunt for freshwater and then lose lots of time when you don't find it.
One thing that I really wish was an option in this game was randomizing the Pokemon quiz. Whoops. Did my mic... Okay. I wish that you could randomize the Pokemon quiz, because that would be really fun, but that's not an option. Sorry.
I mean, that would be great, as long as there were a sanity check to make sure Tombstoner got referenced at some point.
Right, obviously. I wish they actually added Tombstoner into the game, and then the quiz question changes whether or not Tombstoner is actually a legitimate move. I almost answered that question wrong there, but I stopped myself just in time.
One random move in the game has a chance to have its name changed to Tombstoner, so
Exactly.
something uses Tombstoner, and you have to figure out what move it is.
Right. And then you could be wrong about that question. Haha, Tombstoner actually is in the game. Or I think it's like what's the question? TM28 is Tombstoner, I think is what it asks.
The big troll when it's like TM18 is Tombstoner.
Right, exactly. Yeah, TM28 contains Tombstoner. It does not. Normally it contains Dig. In this game it could contain anything, but never Tombstoner. Would have actually been really funny if that question could have been something that was true. But actually, none of these questions are things that could be true in Randomizer. They're always things that are either true or false. So here's Blaine. We better have Burn Heal. That would have been
when you
really
use
good
the more
advice earlier in
aggressive
the game.
flags, some of those questions could be true. Caterpie could evolve into Butterfree.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Yeah, this advice about Burn Heal would have been nice earlier in the game, but I did get burned that one time, which almost never happens. Ooh, look at this! Tauros is trying to learn Splash. That's a very strong move, as you might know. It's a move that terrifies
I suggest you attach a Normalium Z to
opponents.
that Tauros.
What's that? Sorry?
Oh, did you play Sun and Moon?
I have, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Splash's Z move is a +3 attack boost.
Oh, yeah! Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yes, that'd be really good. But Z moves do not exist in this game, so sorry.
I mean, just skip forward 6 gens and you're covered, right?
Yeah, exactly. So again, we could escape rope out of Blaine's gym because of the rule. Escape ropes do not work in gyms unless they do. And that gym does follow that rule. So now we can go back to Viridian City and get our last gym badge here. We're coming up pretty close to the end of the game. Do I need to heal? I don't remember. I'll just heal just in case. Again, we're still looking at sub 3 for sure. If everything goes really well at this point, might get sub 245. Despite the fact that I spent way too much time looking for Starmie earlier in the game. Yeah, the early game did not go so well, but you can see how it pays off to be really careful about what you select, because now I have this Tauros, and it has blossomed into a really strong Pokemon, because I chose wisely early on in the game. So you can really see how much, like, good decision-making can impact your game here. And again, that's just what makes randomizers really interesting to me, is that you can make those kind of decisions, and then you'll never have to make that exact same decision twice.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is definitely one of the randomizers where you have more of the thought than some others of the investment philosophy, like...
Yeah.
Because he's been steamrolling things since Celadon City, like, no Pokemon has taken more than 2 hits to kill, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Most have gone down in 1. But it's really easy to see, like, if you had a bad Pokemon, a lot of these fights would just be slogs. And even if you won them all, they would take so long that it would be more time than it took you to do some other things.
Exactly, yeah. So it's worth spending some time early on to make sure that you've got a good Pokemon. And you can see when I caught that Tauros really early in the game and I decided, okay, I'm going to use this Tauros, I was thinking, like, this far down the road. Like, what's going to be, like, what are my obstacles going to be later in the game that I'm going to have to deal with? And what do I need to do that? And I decided that Tauros would be good enough, and I think I'm right. I think that my judgment has paid off here. There's a revive here, I'm gonna pick it up. This gym is weird. You have to, like, set this... We have to fight this guy, and then he gets in our way, so we have to leave the gym and reset his position. It's stupid.
I'm pretty sure the intended solution to the gym is not to do that, to go through all of these really slow warp tiles that otherwise are only used in the dungeon we skipped.
Well, no, but because there's only one way to get through to Giovanni, it's through that guy. There's only one other way to do it, and it's to come across to the side and talk to him, so that he stays in that position so that you can go back around him. So the intended solution is basically what I did. The other way is just a little bit slower, so I did it this way. It's dumb. I don't know what they were thinking. It's stupid. And this Staryu has Crabhammer, and it makes me really sad. That did a ton of damage. Crabhammer is one of those crit moves that almost always crits, and it's the most powerful one in the game. Normally only Kingler has it, but and Kingler normally has really bad specials, so it's not that strong coming off of him. But here, it's ridiculous because Staryu has better special, and it did a ton of damage to me.
Man, just imagine how powerful it would be if you had a Crabhammer Starmie in your team.
Yeah, no kidding. It would be just a massacre, a random massacre. I should have healed. I didn't. That's fine, though. We just revive. It's fine. We have a lot of revives now. We have plenty of money. We'll get some more. Before we fight the Elite Four, we'll buy a few more revives just in case. This Golbat is not going to teleport against us. He's going to kill us properly. Good job, Golbat. One more Psychic should take care of him, though. I lied. 2 more Psychics to take care of him. So that's that. We have 8 badges now. So we have 1 more fight with a rival, and then we go through Victory Road. There are no trainers we need to fight there. And then we will fight the Elite Four. And that can go really badly sometimes. Just because obviously that's a long gauntlet of really strong Pokemon, and any of them could be game-endingly bad. But usually it's fine. Whatever. So we're gonna kill this Poke Center one last time. Just because I got a little bit banged up there. And then we're gonna go fight the rival. There's really not much to say. This rival fight can be tough sometimes. His Pokemon are decently strong. It is worth noting, by the way, I didn't point this out before, but we did have a flag set where the rival will carry his starter throughout the entire game, so he always has a Raichu, because that was the starter he chose at the beginning, because we chose Ghastly. And that just happened, the Raichu just happened to be next to the Ghastly, you know, whatever.
So, if the rival had an unevolved starter, it would evolve, right?
Yes, it would. So if you had a Pikachu, it would evolve into Raichu at an appropriate level. We're going to use a couple of X specials here. Just make this fight go a little bit quicker. I haven't been using them up to this point, but I think now's the time to start. Oftentimes I'll start using those at like Blaine or even in Silphco. Oh my god.
X Special is an overwhelmingly large boost. Even 1 is a 1.5x multiplier to the stat, and you keep adding 50% of your original stat for every one you use up to 6.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's impressive. And speaking of impressive, that Magikarp used Crab Hammer on me, and it actually did a lot of damage. Because Crab Hammer is just that strong. It's ridiculous.
And it's a water move. Magikarp has Stab. It's just too good.
Yeah, it's strong. What can I say? And it crit, so it got through my my X specials that I used. This might not kill Articuno. Yeah, Articuno has really high special. We're gonna go down. That's fine. We can use another revive.
Articuno is basically the best Pokemon you could imagine that knows nothing but ice moves in the original game.
Okay, put my revives. There we go. Yeah, Articuno has really high special. It's got really good stats overall. It only learns ice moves in Gen 1, so it's kind of crappy.
And then in later generations, rock-type moves are relevant, and that's a problem.
So you'll see that in this game, Articuno only knows normal and fighting moves, so it cannot kill my Ghastly, and I killed it with a level 14 Ghastly. And now it has Raichu, so you know what that means. Teleport, 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 teleport. And Seismic Toss is actually going to do a decent amount of damage, because it's going to do damage equal to our level, which is 16. And, so it's got over 100 HP, but we can just Seismic Toss it to death. Whatever. I don't care.
So are you doing this just for the humor's sake?
Yes!
The Ghastly instead of, like, the Parasect?
Absolutely.
Because I'm pretty sure sending out Parasect as your revive fodder is faster.
Oh yes, definitely. But this is funnier, so I'm doing it.
Speaking of funny, the rival here still had a normal potion.
Yeah, he really likes those normal potions. He doesn't go shopping or anything. Obviously those don't heal much at this point in the game, but I don't know. Whatever works.
Or doesn't work, as the case may be for him.
Yeah. Well, Potion, if he had kept using potions, he could have outpaced my Seismic Tosses. But I guess he just kind of gave up, because he realized the futility of his efforts. Because Teleport, it just wasn't working, and I don't know why. Okay, so... Oh,
why do I envision you switching to Ghastly against the champion?
Oh my god, it might happen. That'd be really funny. Just so I can say I won with my starter, you know. I kept it till the very end. I want him to feel like he's loved and he has a job to do.
I mean, the real question is, at what level does Ghastly evolve into Haunter?
25, I think.
We need a lot of Raijus in the Elite Four.
But yeah, I don't think it'll happen. Okay, so this is Victory Road. This is really boring. This is gonna be Magneton pushing a lot of boulders around for about 5 minutes. There are trainers in here, that none of whom we have to fight, but one of whom I'll probably fight because I always forget that they're there. We'll see. I'm really bad about it for some reason. Otherwise, there's not much to say here. There is Moltres we could capture, but it's not really a Moltres, it's something else, and we don't have Master Ball, and we don't have a Pokeball, so we're not going to capture it. So there's really nothing to say about that. Victory Road is really boring, and I hate it. Okay, there is a rare candy over here. It's one last interesting thing. So actually, we will use our rare candies now, because we have them. Sometimes repels fail if your level's low enough, if it's lower than the thing you're encountering, so... I had that happen to me in the Burn Mansion the other day, actually. I was, like, really surprised.
Doesn't the Burn Mansion have, like, is it a level 38 encounter?
Well, there's a level 42 encounter in there, actually. And I was level 41, so it actually caught up to me. I was like, oh, alright. So I just used a rare candy to get around it. Wait, what am I trying to learn? Mega Kick again? What is this? No! We've moved past Mega Kick! No! Okay, so yeah, as I explained before, I hoarded all of my rare candies up to this point, because it's just more efficient to use them at the end game to get levels, rather than early on. And we want as many level ups as we can get for the Elite Four, because they can be really strong sometimes. Enough said. That's Surf. I don't want to use Surf, I want to use Strength.
And honestly, even if you're easily able to beat the Elite Four, one-shotting instead of two-shotting, just PP's a problem against them.
Yeah, and you just don't want to take attacks and stuff. You want to kill them as fast as possible, and not have to deal with status moves and stuff. We will buy some full restores before that fight, just in case, like, we get paralyzed or burned or whatever.
Well, I believe most of the Elite Four have the so-called good AI that is actually a downgrade, so we could have some more humor.
Right. Yeah, who knows? Oh boy. So we have to push this boulder for like a full minute until we get to the switch. This is a really good puzzle design. They really thought this one through. It's a really good idea.
I personally ram into boulders on my bicycle over and over again.
Yeah, I do that all the time too. It's really good exercise. Okay, that's done with. So I have like just enough repels to get through the game. Down to my last one now. So boulder pushing is almost done, and then we can get to some more fun stuff again. We're gonna reset the bicycle music really quick, because that's important. And we have to use strength again, because we fell down a hole.
So out of curiosity, has anyone played this randomizer with the yellow version, where there's only one starter?
I have. It's difficult. That obviously, for obvious reasons, you end up catching things in the wild a lot more often in that game. Because you just end up with crap, basically.
Though there are a lot more gift Pokemon because, you know, the Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle slots.
Yes, there are a lot of gift Pokemon, so you don't have HM problems. But you have to catch them in the wild, because you are just not going to find, like... Your starter's always going to be bad. It's just always bad when you don't have 3 choices. I had something I was going to say. Oh yeah, Yellow is also... So, Yellow is actually really hard. Like, Pokemon levels are really high in that game. So you could die a lot. It's a much harder game to randomize than Red. And that's why we play Red and not Yellow. So this is just way safer. That's also the game I know better.
Blue.
Oops.
I'm pretty sure doesn't the randomizer treat Red and Blue exactly the same?
Yes. For one of the old Pokemon randomizers, there was one that was before the Bomb Stews randomizer, and I don't remember who made it, so forgive me for forgetting. It had a bug on Pokemon Blue where it wouldn't, you couldn't finish the game because it would bug out at the very end before the rival fight. So you had to use Pokemon Red. So, just kind of out of habit, I only use Pokemon Red, basically. Even though you can use Pokemon Blue now. I'm gonna move my X specials up, just be a little bit closer. There we go. So I'm gonna start using some X specials now.
First member of the Elite Four, Esteban.
Yes, Esteban. Everyone knows about Esteban and her ice types, like Wigglytuff.
Slash Wigglytuff is a thing.
Yeah, it didn't crit the first time, which is interesting. It didn't crit that time either, so there you go. You know what, this X special, I was wrong about this. This is not a good idea. I think I made the wrong choice. But, oh well, Tauros' special isn't as high as I thought it was.
You might have low DVs in your special stat.
It happens sometimes, yeah. It can happen. I probably should have used a few more X specials than I did. I only used 3, but I didn't want that Wigglytuff to keep wailing on me. I wanted to start fighting things. Wigglytuff actually has really high HP, so it can tank a lot of hits. Everything else is pretty weak, so no problems
so yeah,
there.
we've seen some demonstration of how the Elite Four can possibly be really easy, as Esteban here sent out a Pidgey and an Oddish.
A Pidgey and an Oddish. Really not much of a problem there. We're gonna heal up a little bit before we fight Bruno. We'll use the last 2 super potions, because we had him in there for a reason, I guess. Again, I may end up with like way too many healing items, but you just never know, so it's worth buying more than you need. I may use a save before Lance, perhaps, just in case. But until then, I'm fine. I have enough revives that I can get through fights. So, Seal, we're gonna use some X specials.
I have a feeling the EV supplement items are almost never worth it. They're incredibly expensive, and their effect on your stats isn't really that big.
Yeah, I have once in a while, just if my speed is a little bit low, there are a couple of Carbos you can pick up in this game, and I will pick them up just in case, but usually it's not a problem. Tauros is so fast that it doesn't matter. Yeah, Esteban, I guess, gave her Seal to Bruno here. I do have to use a full restore. So here's a Gen 1 mechanic, is that even though I've healed my paralysis, I did not heal the speed drop from the paralysis, so I'm still super slow. That's just something I'm just gonna have to deal with this for this fight. I can't really do anything about it. I can't
believe
switch
an
out.
X speed cures it.
Does it really?
I know using agility cures it, so I would assume an X speed does the same thing.
Then you're probably right. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. I didn't know about that, but you're probably right. Yeah, it worked. Okay. So that's good to know.
Even if you're still paralyzed, I actually think it gets rid of the speed drop because they programmed this game really well.
Yeah, I want to get rid of the paralysis though, because...
Well, yeah, the 1 in 4 of not acting is terrible, but...
Yeah. I bought full restores just for that, so that's what they're there for.
Like,
So
I remember it was... Because Zapdos is a decent competitive Pokemon, but its move pool's so shallow it runs agility.
Right. So I was worried this would happen, that we'd run into these water psychic types like Starmie and Slowbro, Slowpoke, sorry, which resist both Flamethrower and Psychic, so I have to rely on Razor Leaf, which is not benefiting from these X special increases, because it crits and that ignores stat increases. And then Kadabra, which just dies to Body Slam anyway, since its defense is so low. And there is a Slowbro, so... Yeah, basically using X specials here did nothing for me at all. Happens. Whatever.
You know, Esteban would have put up a much better fight if she kept her, Pokemon.
Yeah, she kept her Slowbro instead of training to Bruno. You know, whatever. Alright, but that fight was a little bit slower than I would have liked, but we got through it fine. It's alright. This run's actually going pretty fast at this point. We're just over 230 and we're fighting the Elite Four, which is not too bad. If I hadn't wasted so much time trying to catch that Starmie, we'd probably be looking at sub 230 right now, but that's okay. We're still well under estimate, so I don't feel too bad about this. We should probably get a sub 240, maybe a sub 245 if things go really south. Unless things go really south, in which case, who knows. So Paris, I didn't even bother. I should have just X-Specialed on that guy, but, here's a side deck. We're just gonna Razor Leaf it anyway, so whatever. You can see Razor Leaf is really strong, because those critical hits, they're powerful, what can I say. Tentacle's gonna go down on Body Slam, it's got really low defense. This is, you can really see how knowing all the Pokemon inside and out really helps here, because I just know, kind of offhand, how many hits things are going to take to kill. So you really need to have, like, a very holistic knowledge of the game in order to win easily. just to be able to judge things on site. This Venusaur is going to take 3 hits to kill, that's fine. Okay, it's going to take maybe 4, actually. We didn't even need to use any X specials in this fight, though, so we're going to have way more than we need, which is fine. Just going to keep using Super Potions, which, really in the Elite Four, that's not good enough. We're gonna blow right through that easily.
Though, there is some degree of concern, because Lance and the rival will just chug full restores.
Yeah, they will, and that's why I use the safety save here, because these fights can go a little bit bad sometimes, so just in case. I just want to finish the game now, so I'm just gonna take some time to heal up. Oh, I didn't even get hurt that much, whatever, we'll heal anyway. I'm gonna use an elixir to heal some PP, because we have used a few flamethrowers and psychics by now. So here's Lance. Unlike the previous Elite Four trainers who have normal AI, this guy has good AI, so we could see some more teleports. Just saying. Cubone has double edge. It's gonna do a lot of damage, so we're just gonna stop X-specialing and just attack him.
So yeah, against Tauros, it would just mean they'd use any fighting moves they knew, but there aren't really any high base power fighting moves in Gen 1 either. High jump kick is okay, that's about it.
High jump kick will hurt if we get hit by it. Oh, well, speak of the frickin' devil, you called it. Weepin' Bell just used high jump kick on us, and it actually did a fair bit of damage, even though it's Weepin' Bell, and he has no legs. So, there you go.
I mean, I think the whole Victory Bell evolution line has a decent attack stat.
Yeah, it's okay,
Not like
actually.
super great, but okay.
Yeah, basically. One thing I haven't really talked about, but so because we have this setting on that gives every Pokemon 4 moves, that means that against good AI trainers, they will use their super effective moves, and that can really hurt at this point in the game.
Glare minimize Dugong.
Yeah,
Fine.
that's
Wow,
gonna be
this is
annoying.
a great Pokemon.
So we're gonna use a full restore here, and I probably should use an X speed actually. We're just gonna attack and see if we can kill it. It's still thrashing, so it's dead. That's good. That could have been really annoying, but fortunately we got through it, and we defeated Robin, the dragon trainer, with a Dugong. There's one more fight left. And it's A. Our rival A.
I'm gonna throw out, I have some real degree of disappointment that a Pokemon with Glare, Minimize, and Bind did not troll much harder than it did.
Yeah, he decided to use Thrash and got kind of locked into that instead, so, you know, whatever. I'm gonna make one last safety save before this fight. And, time will be after this fight, obviously, so we should probably get a sub 240. Now, one weird thing about this fight is that it turns on battle animations no matter what, so you always have battle animations on for this fight. So we will get to see those battle animations that we've been skipping the entire game. That includes using X specials, so we have to see this little swirly effect. Ooh, you get to see the exciting effect that Pound has in Twin Needle. So this Porygon's going to be really nice to set up against, so we will use our X specials on this guy. He doesn't even have anything too strong. I think Twin Needle can poison, I want to say, but if that happens, we can just full restore.
Yeah, unlike his evolutions introduced in later generations, Porygon is just a really poor Pokemon, all around very low stat.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's pretty much a novelty. You don't even see them in the game normally, but Randomizer, hey. Yeah, there is that poison that happened, so we're gonna use the full restore. But we have X specialed up all the way. We could just probably roll over him now. We'll show off a couple of different animations just for fun here. There's Flamethrower. It's really satisfying, just that little fire there. We'll use Psychic on Flareon here. Flareon doesn't have great specials, so it's probably gonna die.
It's kind of a shame you have
never
moves
mind.
most players would commonly see, because these are animations people will know, but there's a lot of moves people might not know they're animations.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Fortunately, Body Slam is a really fast move. Here's Razor Leaf against a War Turtle. This one's slower, so I don't like to use it so much, but I have to, because it's going to kill War Turtle pretty quickly. And also this poison animation hurting us a little bit, but as long as we kill things, we don't actually take poison damage. So I'm not too worried about it at this point. I full restored the first time, but now I'm just gonna go for it. We're almost done here. 3 Pokemon left. It's Pidgeotto.
Yeah, we got to see the payday animation.
Yeah, the payday animation's great. You see that little coin drop? One hit kill on Pidgeotto, who has very little HP in special, so not very
Adds
defensive.
an extra line of text at the end of the fight where you pick up the coins.
Oh yeah, that will do that. Although I think I stopped time as soon as it says that I defeated the rival. Here's Raichu, but he's not going to get to teleport today. We're just going to kill him in probably 2 hits. Oh, we got a critical, so actually it's going to take more.
Gotta love damage lowering crits.
We're not going to crack that 240 because of Fairy Swipes and Quick Attack. Screw you, rival.
Isn't it really in the character of the Gen 1 rival to troll at every little opportunity?
Yeah, it is. There we go. I didn't stop the timer the first time. So that's GG. 240-10. That's a bit slow, but not too slow. Like, that's still underestimate. I've had practice runs take up to 3 hours before, so that was pretty reasonable. And once we caught that wild Tauros, we had our path set for us until we saw that Stormy and got a little bit distracted for a little bit.
Incredible luck in Celadon.
That Celadon luck really cannot be overstated. To get 5 TMs in Celadon that were all useful and all learnable by Tauros is insane. I don't even know how to describe that. That's just, I've never seen that before. At most, I've maybe seen 3 TMs like that are both useful and learnable by the Pokemon that I want. So that was insanely good luck. If we didn't get that, if we were stuck with just Flamethrower and Fury Attack forever, this would have been a lot harder. And that's just how Randomizer goes, is you could just get stuck with bad moves, or you could get stuck with good moves. And
so certainly you did see, like, you ended the game with, like, what, high 30s of X specials. If you'd had nothing but Flamethrower, you could have brute forced the game with X specials.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. That's oftentimes what you need to do, basically, to win, is just brute force your way through. So I thank you for joining me, commentating this run.
Oh yeah, thanks for doing the run, and I'm really sorry about the little timing snafu early on.
Oh, no problem. No big deal. So yeah, thanks for the marathon organizers for running this. Thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed getting to show off Pokemon Red. This is one of the first randomizers that was ever really made. It was made like a few years ago. We started racing it, and that was kind of the first time that I was ever exposed to randomizers, and that was before most of them came out. So I really got to enjoy. I really enjoyed getting to show this off at the start of the marathon, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the marathon. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. the end. But no, that's just the beginning. Just the beginning of a great marathon.